say we love that umbrella guy? All right. Thank you.
He also admitted that he speaks to that umbrella guy, and you'll see that one text in there.
Oh, no.
MZ. That umbrella guy is the big lead of Johnny Depp's, positive social media that is putting negative out on
so much credit.
And he also
rave mode here
out of Twitter because he was abusing you.
Treading a thin line
Seized
here,
the moment
Elaine.
and responded to the umbrella guy, the lead person for Mr. Depp's Twitters. Did you not?
Wait, what?
Twitter's the lead, man.
Overruled.
Facts not in evidence.
Mr. Umbrella Guy is the lead.
You know that he.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
I like my haters like my coffee extra mad and bitter. Internet lawyer, all like you, so yeah, the man's a quitter. He's strapped face up behind the platinum grill. I style faceless, just pick these mic skills. And in the street killer, I will not be denied. That the mic up, I raise my head with pride. A force of nature cruising the whip, doing walk-bys on your boulevard. Face my verbal clip. In this land of live streams, baby, I'm on the road. Got my feet on the media, scraping them up my soles. It's that umbrella guy facing the accusers. Cleated out size 14s, crushing all those losers. That umbrella guy, they said we couldn't make it. Never ask permission, just sense our goal and take it. The media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe is meant to enslave you. Challenging the hypocrites, and baby, I'm on fire. They flash titles like they're royalty, but it's true that I'm a journalist. Scribble nursey rhymes, one in this grill in the basket, with a tisket and a tasket, and their morals in a casket. No morals in a casket. They're always pushing make-believe and weaving straw to gold, but I'm sick of all the fairy tales and buying what I'm sold. Strolling into the backyard, taking truth on tour, baby, there is sickness, and that umbrella guy's got the cure. Look, it's that umbrella guy knocking at the door. No more ministry of truth than the plot of 1984. They're dumping all my verbal clips. The case is filled with knowledge. They're on the mic like kindergarten, and I'm taking them to college. Why the mask, baby? Cause this has to be a crime. I'll take the mic and boom, they're in the chalk outline. I used to throw up elbows, but now I'm dropping nukes. You wrote another hit piece, isn't that cute? And the worst part, they'll never learn it before the state start channeling crash and burn. They pretend that we need to get their permission. That umbrella guy crushing their ambitions. You're not my competition. It's that umbrella. It's that umbrella guy steamrolling them out for fun. Mic check, mic wreck, paging this army of one. There's no hesitation, no doubt, not even a scintilla. The Tokyo baby and me, I'm Godzilla. Crushing them like Godzilla, like Godzilla.
All right, crushing it like Godzilla, baby. How's it going, folks? Welcome to it's going to be a lively one tonight. Very, very lively one. Welcome. We have our, well, I hate to say guest because Megalodonus is not a guest anymore. This is our co-host. How you doing, Megalodonus?
Since we're going with the monster theme tonight, I thought I would change my my avatar to the Megalodonus foe avatar.
Monster, man. That's just me after Thanksgiving. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh my God. Who made the turkey spicy this year?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right.
Oh,
Getting
man.
by.
Could you believe that today we actually got confirmation that, all those messages they keep saying are fake, the ones that Shara has been putting out? Isn't it weird that we actually have confirmation from the BBB that they're real?
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody caught that with Shara's latest bombshell, but I know there were some people, maybe trolls, saying there's nothing new here. There's nothing new. Oh, yes, there is.
Yeah.
You didn't look close enough if you think there's nothing new.
They
So
just
the
don't want there to
ecosystem has
be.
been trying to convince us that the screenshots Shara has been sharing are faked and photoshopped.
Yes.
But Shara's got evidence now that Bruce, the attorney for Lynette Preston himself, is admitting that all the screenshots that she has shared are true and accurate.
Yep. So there you go. There should be no more, oh, well, about that. It's all fake. I mean, okay. Let's pull that up, actually. We'll do a little sneak preview. We'll look at everything, but let's pull that specific item up. So here we have a message that was sent in on January the 7th, 2025. That would be a wonderful Tuesday. Talking about,
we keep in mind, this was after her deposition, after she publicly said in front of the federal judge is going to read it, that she feels intimidated by this man, that he is intimidating her, trying to get her not to testify. He then goes and he contacts her.
I mean, it's wild. I've never seen somebody, not a lawyer. I've seen clients that were dumb enough to do this stuff, but for a lawyer to go out, well, this is in federal fucking court. Him making contact again. We were talking about he shouldn't be making contact for anything. Shara had been discussing this publicly, saying that he was mailing. Well, he's not only mailing, but like I said, he's dumb enough in this mailing to publicly. He says he knows this is going to be public. He knows that. So it's totally not a threat. It's not a threat of suing. Right. Sure. But beyond that.
I can't wait to get to that. We're going to dissect that in a minute. It's exactly the same kind of way that he threatens us with lawsuits, with a threat or, and then but I'm not threatening you. It's just like when you're little kids in the car and like one is sticking their fingers in your face going, I'm not touching you. Yeah, technically you're not touching me, but you are invading my personal space and you are insinuating you're going to touch me. And that's exactly what this letter is.
Well, and people who are like, he can't be that dumb, can he? Well, let me reference one other thing that was in there while we were talking. And again, we'll get to all this wonderful stuff. I want to reference it. If you think, well, he can't be that dumb, could he? Well, here's him talking to Shara, talking about going after someone that is involved in the old pew pew thing. Yeah, he's saying that he wrote on their YouTube, this is him discussing it. I wrote, you're a career criminal. You're a liar. I can't wait to sue you.
He wrote that on Wes Dockery's YouTube.
Yeah. While there's an investigation actively. And Shara's like, wait, what? What's going on? And she's like, you wrote that on Wes's video and he deleted it? Yes. So he admits it. And she's like, might they say that's intimidation of a witness or victim? He's like, no response needed. They might say whatever the fuck they want. Are you drunk, Bruce? What is going on? It actually says they might say whatever the for sure they want. That's actually what it says.
Oh my Lord.
But I don't give a shit. Oh man, tough guy. Such a tough guy.
He doesn't give a shit. When you're a lawyer and you've, made promises to the bar about things you will and will not do, you better give a shit about witness intimidation because it's against the law.
Yep. So there's, and also on top of that, back to what we were discussing, I just wanted to make sure because some people are like, can't be that dumb. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even dumber, I would say. Again, there is no reason for this stuff. But look, this headline by itself is an admission that those messages, they are real. your doxing of old private messages. So he's like, oh, you should keep doing privates. You should keep that. Any concern where it was talking about a child and her saying this terrible nonsense about how she's not going to fucking say anything about it to anybody. Yeah, you should keep that private. You don't have to keep that private at all.
Notice how he doesn't say anything in here about the messages being doctored, fabricated, photoshopped, or altered in any way. In fact, he says, your doxing of old private messages, the message between you and Michelle from a year ago and longer, which are shown in your YouTube video, were confidential. So they're accurate.
Yes, they're real. They are 100% real. He's just mad. They were confidential and sent in reliance on her trust to you. And then about the concerns. If you had valid concerns, you failed to raise them at the time because you were more concerned with your position as a trusted insider with Miss Preston. So right there, I mean, he's admitted 100%. It's not just about other things. It's talking directly about concerns with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
That is 100%.
And by the way, we know that this is not true because Shara's already shown screenshots of messages where she did raise concerns.
Yep.
So that's not true. She raised them with him, and he said, if I remember correctly, he said she'll grow up.
Yeah, well, apparently there are a few conversations with that. We saw the 311 one. Actually, I think I have clips of that one just to make sure that we compile this because I don't want to stick with his narrative.
Yeah, she had concerns about where her money went. She had concerns about melatonin being given to the child as a sleeping agent instead of as medicine, right? She had concerns about the child being in a bad situation, and she brought that up.
Yep, it's all right here. Any thoughts on your client's threat to a small special needs child to hit the child in the mouth who was joyfully interacting in the background and are called to law enforcement? I don't know any mother who threatens innocent children in the way she does, including threats with melatonin sedation and consistent anger. So, I mean, this, and again, it goes further than that, but it's 100% documented. She did bring up this stuff. Yeah. But doesn't matter. There's always a spin to it. Let's get back to that letter though. That's one thing. I thought out of there was a lot in that video. Quite a lot. But this thing right here, Oh man, I was like, why would you, as the lawyer? He's doing the Lord's work.
God, I know.
I mean, you don't need. What's amazing is you don't need some place to come in and actually verify Shara's message because he did it for you.
That's right. He did. And unbelievably, this man is dumb enough to state from his own account. Yeah, he's the one who sent the message to Wes, and here's what it said. And the message has been deleted. He could have denied it if he hadn't done that.
Yep.
He said he never said it. But here we have him in his message. I did. I said that. Wow.
I love it all, man. Oh, by the way, there are about 2,800 of you already. Appreciate you. Tell people we're live tonight because tonight is, it's going to be very interesting. It's already starting interesting. Oh, yeah. This one, like I said, it's a big one because, again, the whole way that they've avoided this inconvenient thing, especially when backers are out there, people are already asking questions, is they just told them that everything was fake. Well, the lawyer here representing wrote Shara and said that, no, it's real. So that doesn't fly anymore.
So all those allegations of Photoshop and by the way, the walruses never even addressed that. They other than saying she's showing Photoshop things, they never addressed what was said in that message about the child and the allegations Lynette made against John Cook about the child. The very troubling accusations.
Well, they say he's a good father.
Right. But
they're
now we
going
know
with
that was a
narrative.
real message. Now we know it was a real message. So what is their response to that real message that their hero, Lynette, claims she knew about child abuse, believes her daughter would not lie, would not make that up, but isn't going to call anybody because she knows that CPS would take the child away from her? What is their response to that?
It'll be just more deflection. It'll be, but Megan Fox stole my content somehow.
Oh God, I can't even with that. I can't even. I can't wait for the day when I never have to pay attention to anything that these two Flophouse weirdos are doing. Like I just rock selling weirdos. I just don't. I never want to hear about them or from them ever again.
Oh my Lord. Oh my God. I was playing a video game. It's called like Super Wagon Adventures. It's basically like Oregon Trail. You know, you can name your people. I was going to name them all and call it a voyage to Otter Creek and see how it went.
Yeah.
You can go to the trader. I was like, are they trading little rocks or what are they doing?
the trading post. Yeah.
Yeah, they run into like a fur trader, I think he's supposed to be. I was like, I know what they're trading to them. Actually, they're not furs. Oh my God. I was playing it the other day and, you know, just goofing off with it. And I was like, wait a minute. Did the wagon just stop to pick up berries? And they started whacking out. Wow, this is really true to life. I think I'm going to record a little adventure in it one day.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun there. Oh, man. But yes, by the way, tell people we are live for sure. Make sure you like. And if you want to go further as part of shilling, because again, you know, bringing this stuff. Look at all the threats people get. I mean, we've gotten them. We're not part of a case, though. It's bad enough that we get threats all the time from just wackadoodles out there. Plus, I mean, BBB kept writing, and he's totally not suing anybody, guys. He's totally not. Oh, geez.
He's totally not. No, he's just threatening to, but that's not really a threat. No, how dare you read my threats of lawsuit as threats of lawsuits?
Exactly.
It's not a threat.
Well, also, again, she's like, hey, I'm horrified by this person. I'm afraid of them. And he reaches out under the totally, oh yeah, thanks and Happy New Year. Not creepy at all. So for you to manipulate a victim, again, going with the old, all this stuff right here, he's saying it's true, but somehow that's manipulation where she was covering the story, found this stuff out. He told her to keep covering, by the way, keep pushing it. You do you. But now, nope, that's manipulation of a victim. And then use her private, confidential communications to make monetized YouTube videos. By the way, I saw her monetization did come on.
Yeah. Shara got monetized today. So I sent her a super chat and a bunch of other people did too. And she deserves it for her hard work. And maybe she'll get her $3,000 back.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, for anything else, for nothing else, there's a lot of work that goes into those videos. And she started in a very deep financial hole as far as that stuff is concerned. So the plays, actually, her video,
it's really
see
good.
how it's doing today. Let's see how that's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Let me check it. All right. Hey, this is on track to do better than the last one. If it continues with the numbers here. So Shara's channel, 5,750 plus. So she's rolling on toward that 6K. That's good. These numbers right here, they're even better. The last video, 36,000 hits. That's good, man. That'll
really
be better.
good.
Yeah. I mean, that does, I expect, like I said, 30,000 is a good point for, you know, it depends on what you have in there. I really think, it depends on the case, 10, 15.
Mhm.
That's actually a good place. But
Yeah.
30 is a heck of a place. This, where she's at right now, 8 hours. And again, this number, just to make it clear to people, this number is usually off for the first day. So there's actually a little
It'll
bit
probably
more
it's
there.
higher than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, she's having a great first day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this, it's an interesting one. When I sit down and watched it, it has a lot to do with well, it has to do with Wes intimidation, but it also has to do with verification. I was like, why does Jeremy doesn't even need somebody to verify her text? He did it himself.
He did it himself. Unbelievable. And for him to say this too really bothers me about the using private confidential communications. Does anyone doubt for 1 second that if Shara had stayed on Bruce's side and had access to Jeremy's private confidential communications, that he would stop at, he wouldn't publish those, he wouldn't have her make videos about those?
Well, again, I mean, he was.
Yes, he would.
Well, not just that. Okay. I mean, if he's talking about communications that are private, he likes to talk about doxing his emails and stuff. Well, that's fascinating because, like I said, he himself, if you look at emails that he sends to people, but just to me, this was
He
totally
copies
written up to me.
private communications to media outlets. He copies. He sent
ecosystem.
defamatory crap about me and Tug and other people to media outlets.
Yep.
So give us a break, Bruce. Give us a break. Get off your high horse. Your high horse is literally laying on the ground dead. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's not actually very high. It's breathed its last, and it's on the ground.
Oh. Yeah, it's pretty sad stuff, though. I mean, he's also saying, look at the way, and then used it for YouTube monies against journalistic ethics.
Oh, please.
How is that
since
against?
when is publishing newsworthy text messages against journalistic ethics? It isn't. I have news for him. It's not. We do it all the time. All the time. If you are dumb enough to send a journalist incriminating text messages, you are a moron and you deserve what's coming. But also, as far as text messages go that weren't even sent to the journalist, maybe they were sent to somebody else and then that person sent it to the journalist. Still valid, still ethical. If it's newsworthy, if there's a public interest in it, believe me, they will get shared. And one of my best examples of that was the throuple situation in Congress. Do you remember this?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't remember the woman's name, but she had literally sent pictures of her combing her intern's hair while her intern was sitting naked on the floor. And they were both naked, I think. And she and her husband had a throuple with interns in Congress. These text messages were sent to one of the people in the throuple, probably the intern, who then turned around and sent it to redstate.com. And Red State published them. That is absolutely ethical in every sense. It would, if they had sent it to TMZ, they would have published it. How about Amber Heard sending that video of Johnny Depp kicking cabinets to TMZ? Yep. Is that not ethical that they publish? Of course it's ethical.
Actually, their unethical part was doing one thing Shara has not done. If we want to get into ethics, they left off part of the video. No, that was the unethical thing. Shara's
they left off the part where she was laughing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. This idea that like it's not ethical to share text messages that were privately sent. That's ridiculous. If it's
they know she's a journalist.
It is.
They told her to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing there. Not only that, again, it's even worse than that because this game they wanted to play a game of chicken with her reputation. They put her in a place where she can't win, according to them, because they went out and tried to claim that everything's confidential. You know, that they're doing this even now right here. So before it was supposed to be underprivileged. Now somehow it's all confidential, even though you message someone else, well, it's theirs. It's not actually confidential anymore. And he knows that. That's why he's saying, I think that will be, I assume that it's going to be shared. by the way, isn't it lovely? I'm not sending it to anyone else. Of course he's not sending it to anyone else. Why
would he
I mean,
want
this is
that
a
out?
problem. This is a
Mhm.
federal witness.
Mhm.
Holy crap. He
And
doesn't want
look how he says sharing his email will be doxing. That is
Yeah.
not what doxing is, Bruce. And you either know that or you're too stupid to understand what doxing
He
is.
knows it.
An email you send to a journalist is never confidential or private, ever. Any email you send to anybody, unless it's your client, none of them are confidential. And you can put a little blurb at the bottom that says, this is a confidential email not to be shared. Guess what? Fuck you. If I want to share it, I will. It's still not confidential, even if you put that at the bottom of your email. That's how that idiot Shane Communications, David Shane, he wrote not for publication. His attorney, his stupid attorney, sends a journalist a takedown notice that was so dumb and then puts on the top, not for publication. I laughed at that for a good 10 minutes as I published it.
When I got that out loud, I sat down and I was like, I wonder how many of these that he sent out. You know, he didn't send everybody one of those that said confidential, not for, by the way. So you, myself, we were some of the privileged few.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing. Not for publication. Fuck you. I'm going to publish anything that comes into my inbox if I want to. The only time I don't, I promise people confidentiality is if they are a source and they are giving me good information and they need to be protected for some reason. But even if I've said, yeah, I will not share your information, and then I find out they lied to me, I find out they lied, that they gave me false information, or they're implicated in a crime, all bets are off, buddy.
Yeah. Well, Shara also has noted multiple times that they, according to her, are trying to set her up to take a fall for some, they're basically, they're not just calling her a liar. They're not just saying that all of this stuff is fake, which is bad enough, by the way. Again, they've been saying that everything that she produced was fake. So that exonerates her. That says 100%. By that alone, I would. But she's also gone further. And she said, they're trying to set me up. They're trying to ruin me. And then she's getting threats and more where they're trying to claim that this stuff is fake instead of acknowledging that it exists. Oh man, this is a fuck up too right here, because I mean he's talking about he wants to go after that lawyer. Remember we read that communication he tagged you?
The Miami Law Group. Yeah.
So they don't have any concern whatsoever, and yet again he just admitted that message where she said in the home where the guy is still there taking kid out, doing all kinds of things, that message was real. And again, PSA, don't contact anyone, please. Let me include that. Okay, let's read along.
Nobody, don't contact anybody.
I hope you will stop adding to / encouraging the attacks. Encouraging attacks. Would he call them attacks if the script was flipped? If Shara would have been everything they hoped? Would they be?
No, so I'm saying, like, if she had stuff on Jeremy and she was publishing that, come on. He'd be calling it journalism, which is what it is. It's not an attack. They invited a journalist in to do her job. She did the job. She didn't come to the same conclusion that they did. She came to a different one, and now she's doing her job. She's publishing her story the way she sees it. And frankly, the way it is, the truth.
Yeah, Masters of Criminology asks, isn't Bruce saying that the Hales are cyber stalking, defamation? Indeed. That's why all of this stuff is important. It's not just that, too. You have to imagine who Bruce is in this and who Shara is in this, because we're not just talking about some journalist out here and some random lawyer writing. We're talking about a guy that is not just involved in federal litigation, but is listed as a potential co-conspirator. I believe he's a co-conspirator. We'll see what is said about adding him, but she went in and talked about the threats. We're talking about Hitman level threats here. You would think they would be on their best behavior. No weird mail, no nothing. Nope, not at all.
Oh, and wait till we are going to play the video, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait till we get to the part in it that I audibly gasped.
Yes.
I wonder
Sure,
if it's the
definitely.
same part that you did, because we weren't watching it together, but my reaction at home was this.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a certain statement that was made where
Yep, that was it. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. This though, I wanted to spend time on this because I'm afraid people missed it. You know, Shara's videos are so jam-packed full of information. I think people will miss it. This case is full of that. This stuff just keeps hitting, bam, 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 and it's so easy to miss. But like this again, this is a big, big one. I've never seen another lawyer step out on his own clients. In fact, I would actually say that as far as his clients are concerned, he did you a real disservice right here. He very much did, because in the courtroom, he's supposed to be out there protecting your best interest. If he's not going to step away from the case because he knows you're lying about things, which is actually what he should be doing, but if he's not going to do that, he's supposed to be out there again. He's supposed to make sure that, well, I mean, let's be honest what a lawyer does. He makes it difficult for the other person to win a case. That's what it is. And this, you don't have to go through verification of all of that stuff. I mean, all those messages. So that whole claim that they were saying with counterclaim about how he has done these horrible things that were fake as part of a storyline to a child. Yeah, that just exploded right here. He demolished it. So
good job, Bruce. Sarcastic clapping for you.
Indeed, man. Man, I tell you, it's like more clap than a Tijuana whorehouse. What's going on here?
Oh my God.
But the attacks against victims of Hale's cyberstalking, as your synopsis so effectively conveys what they are. He's trying to go back to that letter that she's like, you know, he wrote, and he leaked to everybody and their mother too, by the way. You know, all the ecosystem. He just dropped that out there to everybody in the ecosystem by continuing to publicize private communications made to you in trust. Again, he's trying to play this private, trust, all that. She's supposed to keep her mouth shut. You know, you better keep that mouth shut. That's what I hear here. And he says, well, assuming this email will be shared in docs, I'm not sending it to anyone else. It is not a, quote, threat of a lawsuit. Oh, yeah. All these words here, they're totally not threats.
My favorite, though, is the next one, because this is the threat right here.
Yep. If you have counsel, I invite you to have them contact me.
Oh, really? What for? If she's not being sued, why does she need a lawyer, Bruce?
Yes, indeed. I mean, also, during the case...
This is not a threat, but have your lawyer contact me. Are you fucking kidding me?
I got to raid one real quick. 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, this is obviously a threat. This is ridiculous. I agree with you, Leona. Leona says at the rate they're going, there will be a summary judgment awarded to Hale.
I mean, holy crap.
Do you see this?
Do you ever get at a loss for words sometimes? Yeah,
look at this comment, because I agree with this. At the rate they're going, there will be summary judgment awarded to Hales.
Indeed.
For real, there will be a moment when the judge gets real fed up with this and says, you know what? We don't even need a jury. We're done. Pay.
She could make, I mean, this is invitation to make bar complaints and everything else. I mean, she has every right to do so with this. Oh, but thanks and Happy New Year. Gross, man.
Thanks and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yep, they're all pals. Oh, man. But thank you, Bruce. I will keep that one around, especially since you've threatened everyone with totally not suing everyone. I'll make sure to keep that one on file for myself.
Are we going to read her response too?
Her response to the
to that letter?
I didn't pull it off the thing, actually.
her response. Well, you want to go through it when we get to it?
Yeah, we can get to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I figured that's what I just wanted to highlight that by itself, just to tell people, when we say that Shara is showcasing a lot and dealing with a lot, I mean, I think sometimes people miss out on just how crazy this is. Some do.
Yeah,
Some do
and make sure, guys, that you go over to Shara's channel and you click on this video and you let it, and you watch it again after we're done here, or even let it play in another window while we're doing this, because
build a playlist too. She's monetized now, so you can actually play multiple videos. Just take all of her videos, set them in a playlist for yourself, and just let them roll. But make sure when you watch the video, let it play all the way through too, because she I mean, there's a lot there, and you want it going out to more people. You do,
right?
One of the things about this as well, Shara, for everything added to this and all the information she has, she's growing quickly as far as her channel. Again, the ecosystem left her at 33 subscribers, and she's pulled herself up to close to 6K. So she's moving along. But in the scope of things, this information, a lot of people, I think they're counting on a lot of people not seeing it. So sharing it, making sure the algorithm sees it. Again, subbing to her channel. Let me add her channel real quick too before I'm going to put it in the description, and then we'll watch.
Yeah, make sure that you do click on that, subscribe, like her videos, like the channel, subscribe, and give Shara some love, because she's working really hard. And what she did here, she made a very hard choice. The easy thing for her to have done would to have been just to walk away and disappear.
Yep.
That would have been the safest thing to do. It would have been the easy thing to do, but it wouldn't have been the right thing to do.
And a lot of people would have done that too, just to be
honest.
Oh
God, you know what? The more I see the way they behave, the more I think, gee, I might have walked away if I had all this. You know what I mean? Like, the way they are behaving towards her is terrifying. Threats to her son. Like, come on. This is threats to sue. All these threats. This is not the way civilized people are supposed to behave. If you think that she's done something wrong here, which I can't imagine what it is, because they invited a journalist in. They said she should do her own thing. They said that they weren't going to tell her what to write. So why are they so angry that she's decided what she's going to report? She's made her choice. They should leave her alone.
Hey,
it's
Madam
too
Mayor,
bad for them. They don't have good facts.
Hey, props to Madam Mayor, by the way. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just saw
No,
her.
you're good.
No, well,
I do it to you all the time. I constantly step on you.
Wait,
I'm the worst.
That's what crosstalk. Anytime, I'm like, why don't we illustrate crosstalk better? Because we're pretty good at it some days.
We are so good at it. It's mostly my fault. I'm always talking over you. I hate that. I know, Chad. I know. I have to get better.
No, it's good, man. Like, I will talk forever, and I'm very slow. Meg's like, come on, get the point.
Get going.
I could monologue forever. Saying it slow, it's like 4 and 7. She's like, 7, yeah, something already ago. 7 burritos ago, 7 lifetimes ago. 7 trips to Florida ago. Come on.
Put some gasoline on it. Let's go.
Pour some gasoline on it. Let's set that thing on fire, baby. Remember with all of this too, Shara just had a pretty awful scare. Like, she went to the police because of, I believe it was a legitimate threat. I would have taken it as a threat.
I absolutely would have taken. Are you kidding? I would have been on the phone with the police immediately after I saw that. Absolutely. She did the right thing.
Let me actually point that out too. Remember,
thing this was one of the scariest ones I've seen. This is the kind of thing you do call law enforcement about.
Yep. Shara, my friend, been looking at your information and family. The real golden key will drop in 48 hours. Your son will be first. I mean, that's creepy, especially considering, you look at the titles. I got thinking about this when I was looking at her videos. If you look at a lot of the titles of that, what has she been talking about? She's been talking about a guy pulling the old pew pew on people, and I mean, even that seems like a not so veiled threat.
And what we're about to hear just adds more fuel to that fire.
Okay, so to note, it will start out until the police officer gets there. I saw people mentioning this when this video started up. There will be no sound right at first. They don't turn on their body cam sound until. I think that should be on every freaking second of the day. But
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but you'll notice it.
We were just watching some body cam footage with Aussie Overlord, and the cops did something horrible, killed people they weren't supposed to kill.
By the way, let's just note something. Did you see that? So we're told over and over again that Jeremy is driving on the wrong side. You know, he should be arrested and everything. Okay,
look how narrow this road is.
And look when the cop hints it, I mean, he's barely on the road.
There's only room for one car. You have to pull over to let somebody else go by. But yeah, on the footage, after they did this terrible thing, the one was walking around going, body cams off, turn your body cams off, turn them off, turn cameras off.
They do that all the time. And you hear them, and it's just, I mean, you know exactly what they're doing with that.
Oh, of course. That shouldn't be allowed. Here we go. Now there's volume. Oh, look at the fence. Look at this fence.
Is that an edit bar by Shara?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
It might have
first.
an address on it or something.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Some of the stuff this cop says too.
Yeah, it's frustrating, right?
Yes.
Chicken wire gate. That gate's really keeping out a lot of stuff. I guess it's better than a futon.
I don't know. Futon's pretty classy.
Well, it has multiple uses. If you get tired, you can sit down. You can even take a nap.
Maybe take it to the flea market.
You could.
By the way, the voice will come through better as things get rolling.
Sheriff's office.
You have to watch Speed Racer run in here in a minute too.
Oh, you mean the elderly disabled lady?
I mean, she hoofs it pretty well. She's like,
oh man, kid, she's very spry.
Yeah.
She's quite spry. She
I
leaps
no joke.
over
I
things.
hope, like, as I get older, I hope I'm fast like that. You know. You got to be fast to keep ahead of the Warrens for John.
Michelle, is John here? I need to speak to him real quick, please.
Hoof it up there.
Here she comes, speed walking.
I just need to speak to him real quick. I need to talk to him.
You gonna arrest him?
I'm trying to follow him yesterday. I just need to talk to him. Okay. No, I didn't. Yeah. I put it on there. 2075, I think.
I wonder if that vibrating thing, you can feel that a lot. You know?
That thing is to keep them, so they know the camera's still working. Yeah.
I wonder, like, how it feels, though.
It's annoying, though. I wish they would make it so it doesn't make a sound, because for people listening, it's very frustrating, especially if you have to turn the volume way up because you can't hear their voices.
Doesn't it mess with your instincts, too? I mean, just to...
I would think so. I've never seen it like that. I've never seen body cams like that, except in this case.
Yeah.
They must be
that's what
old
I've never...
models.
I mean, when they're on, you know, but I think the easy fix for that is just keep them on.
Yeah, right. Like don't turn them off, and then you don't have a
Yeah,
problem.
if you let us in, I'll come in.
Oh man, these police officers after a while.
He's just like, I'm coming in.
Go speed race, go speed race.
Who's that? Is that Landon?
Yeah, I think so.
Someone in the chat said, enter gate code.
911.
Yes, ma'am. Well, the gate was shut, so I couldn't pull in.
No, it's fine.
That's fine.
I still want them to do it.
No. No problem.
Did she say there's a 24-hour camera?
John,
Yes.
I'm going to show you this.
Okay, so in this conversation, if she's talking about a 24-hour camera, she's going to tell them also their cameras aren't working. You know, that's one of the
No,
things.
it's that they don't retain, according to her, they don't retain the information more than a few minutes at a time as it's coming in.
I think
I don't
on
know if
this
I believe
she's
that.
saying that it wasn't charged or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
You know,
Who knows?
Again, it's very convenient. You know, and of course, they don't want that. That explains a lot of why they don't want other people having cameras either. You know, because they won't even turn over their footage.
Because we were at the flea market.
Yes, ma'am. You spoke to another deputy on that last night.
Here's the messages. It's exactly what he wrote me.
Okay. Let me get a copy of that to go add to this too. But, Mr. Hey, let me real quick. All right. Well, since we're there, I'll ask you real quick. So the cameras are not working? Is that what you're saying?
No, unfortunately, we've been so busy at the flea market, I didn't keep them. We have to freaking pull them and charge the damn things every other day.
Yeah, so we have to pull and charge them.
What are they?
That's a crazy thing too. Like, what cameras do you have to pull every single day to charge?
I don't know. I'm not real familiar with cameras and how
Well,
they
see,
work.
I
would
have a
imagine though
Ring.
that you have some with batteries that maybe you might have to charge, but don't they last longer than a few days?
Yeah, usually, you know, I've had trail cams, for example. You set those out, they charge, or they're battery operated, depending on how they're designed. My Ring doorbell actually is one of the older school models. You know, you have to charge it. It's not wired in to the house, so you know you pull it off, and we have to charge it, but we have to charge it every 4 weeks, maybe. I mean, we're not talking about it going in and having all those problems.
Like who would charge cameras every other day or every day? That's crazy.
People who want a very convenient way of saying that
they don't.
I have footage. Remember, every claim I have footage of this. Oh well, it got recorded over or whatever. Or we have cameras. Yeah, all the time. Oh well,
I don't have that phone anymore.
Oh, just amazing stuff. Anyway, continue.
Oh, that is. Hold on.
Okay.
Is this before or after the trespass 5?
This is before the trespass.
Okay, because that's the same officer. Chat just pointed it out. I'm like,
yeah,
it
that's
is.
what I was saying. Recognize the officer. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Same guy. Funny.
That's
I bet he can't go out there anymore, right? Because she's suing him.
Currently, yeah, I would think that would be that would be. I would also think she would be a great hit with law enforcement out there after coming after one of their officers. You know, considering they've given her like above and beyond.
Yes, they have.
There are so many times that something should have happened and it did not happen. So that's your reward. Way to go, Levy County. Bravo on that too, man. Again.
Yep.
Oh man, so much clap. We're gonna have to send us all to the free clinic. No way.
Oh,
I need to start talking about golf claps. Although I don't know, I've seen some of the golfers too. We might be talking about the same thing. John Daly, allegedly. John Daly's like, I drink all the time. Women, oh yeah. What flavor you got? So maybe we are talking. Okay, poor John Daly. He just caught some strays in that.
Phone, or does it go to your phones?
Arlo.
Okay, is that
So it's a visual live feed. It doesn't stream to your phone, so you can't download the recording, but you can play it as you see it.
okay? So you can't go.
That's actually not correct either. Services, what they do. So if you're dealing with like a Ring or anything else, well, what they do is they will stream video to you. And if you have, it depends on your camera, what type. Like a Ring doesn't actually record all the time. They pick up incidents. If there's an instance where something crosses, it turns it on. Otherwise, to save room, it takes snapshots all the time. Like a lot of people don't realize that about like Ring doorbells or Ring cameras. You can turn it down to, I think, 3 to 5 seconds, but it's just taking series of snapshots. But when something gets in there, yeah, you have an interruption. It'll tell you that there's something, and you can go in and download it. Even with cameras that are running all the time. I mean, if they're using a service to do that, and if they've got it hooked up themselves, I think there should be more questions on that. But what do I know?
Well, I'm being told too that it does depend on the cameras, because there are some cameras that require recharging, but they're usually cheap and crappy, and usually bought on Chinese sites like Temu. So it is possible.
Maybe at a flea market.
Or at the flea market.
Yeah. Drop shippers. That's the thing you folks got to understand. If you want to, if you go to the flea market, by the way, yeah, sometimes like you can buy some stuff, like somebody selling old games or something. That's awesome. But if you're buying like cheap garbage, go in someplace like AliExpress. You're going to find it for the price they paid. You're like, oh, $20 for a camera. That's good. Yeah, except it costs $3.17 or something.
Right. I think, in fact, on one of the videos they were showing of the flea market, which it's still under, it's still questioned whether or not that footage was actually in Lynette's booth or not. People don't know. It's disputed. But anyway, on that footage, there was another guy who was showing his booth. He was really cute. He had like plants and stuff for sale and other things. But he was showing a Shark vacuum. And it was like, he's like, this is like a $300 vacuum. I'm selling them for $75. I was like, yeah, because he bought it for $15 on Temu.
You read it, it's called a Spark vacuum.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
It's not. It's Sharp. It's a Sharp.
It shampoos the floors. It shampoos you. It Oh, that's hilarious there. But I don't know. When I think about, yes, there are some that need jar, but isn't that convenient? I'm gonna say every time, always. Even when they claim they have footage of somebody that stole from them, for example, they were going to turn over that information to the Popo too. You remember those conversations? They stole the tortoise milker, whatever they really said.
Right.
All right, here we go.
You can go back and look, and it only gives you a few minutes, a few seconds of clips, like if a car drives by or whatever. But I've never called Arlo and asked them if they did it in a cloud.
Talk to John. John, I just need to do some follow-up from yesterday, okay?
Who's Arlo?
Like I said, I got to ask some more detailed questions, so I am going to read your Miranda, okay? You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or
Arlo is apparently a camera wireless system. I see it. So if that's actually what they're talking about, they provide a service too. I see them on Best Buy and on Amazon. That's interesting. I could probably look into the camera, the wireless security system cameras. I mean, again, they have a site, arlo.com. and it I'm sure talks about how they're recording. Maybe I'm going to reach out to them and see exactly how their cameras work. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll do a call
Lions
tomorrow.
in the chat says, we have Arlo and videos are saved for a long time. Interesting. We can check
I'll reach
that
out, and I'm going to reach out to them as somebody that is curious about how that works. Because the way she's describing it, again, didn't it sound just like what I was saying with Ring? A lot of them work exactly the same. They take screen or snapshots, and you can set it to be quicker. Their default is something like 15 seconds, and that's quite a bit of time, but you can speed that up. The battery, it runs down faster on them if you speed it up. But still, we're not talking about every single day. I'm going to look up camera types. I'm going to see if I can find their cheapest cameras, older versions, and see how long they say that their cameras actually last for charge.
Okay.
We're present with you while you're being questioned. Okay. You cannot afford to hire a lawyer. One will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Okay?
She talked through the whole thing.
Each of these rights I've explained to you. Okay. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now? Get it over with. Okay. Well,
Let's get it over with.
Clarifying. Where were you
Look at
saying?
Look at that. That was funny. Look. Couple of seconds. There we go. Look at his reaction to it.
Okay. Well, like I say, I'm just clarifying.
My bad.
Okay. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you? Okay. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now?
Get
it over with. Okay.
Get over with.
Like I say, I'm just clarifying. Where were you saying you were at? I just want, like I said, I want it to be 100% detailed.
I was working on my stereo system.
Okay.
This car came by. I took a look to see what it was.
Yes,
it was
sir.
going to be a Hale fan. It turned out to be one. Come back.
So every car that goes by the way, every single car that goes by on that street, it's going to be a Hales fan. That's actually a disturbing comment when you really think about that, because of what happened to these quote-unquote Hales fans.
Only one of them was a Hales fan. The other one had no clue what they were doing there, other than it was something that this guy wanted to see and take his daughter to. She had no idea who the Hales were.
You're talking about a guy that was drinking all the time. There were allegations about more. He's carrying around the ye old pew in his pocket. And he is highly paranoid. And, well, I'm going to say that if you are pulling out ye old pew on just random people, I will call that instability. So I'm going to say very unstable in that, too. Yeah, that's not good. Again, anybody could be on that road. But all of them being Hales fans, that's kind of...
So I stood behind this tree right here.
Right. The Magnolia?
Yeah, the Magnolia there. And I can't honestly say what I said. I said something like, get a life, you maggot, or something.
Yes, sir.
And then the car stopped right there and started going in reverse. And I shot to the shed over there. When I was going to the shed there, this gentleman.
Think about that narrative too. Okay, so they're driving down a road, and this is a road. This is not some trail on the side of the road or something. They're down the road. They supposedly pass, throw the car in reverse with a child in it and everything. I mean, it sounds insane, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That narration.
And had something sticking out of the car window.
Okay.
I don't know
You
what
couldn't tell what it was? Okay.
Didn't know gun, bullet, or what. And I just stashed myself behind the old chicken coop.
Okay. And then
I waited for him to leave.
he left? Okay. And then what'd you do after he left?
He went back out to my,
Okay. For that?
he said what I was doing.
Okay. Right. Now, John, do you own a firearm?
Yes.
What kind do you own?
I own a 9mm.
A 9mm?
Yep.
Okay. But what kind is it?
CZ.
CZ? Okay. Blue steel, stainless?
Black.
Black? Blue steel. All right.
Yep. All steel.
Okay. Do you own a revolver?
Now I got rid of it
Okay. How long ago did you get rid of that?
a few months back.
Okay. Did you sell it? Do you remember who you sold it to? Was it just a acquaintance type thing, or okay? You made sure they didn't have a criminal history, right? All right.
Yeah, he did all the he did all of the background on this firearm, right?
Oh yeah, you made sure he didn't have a criminal history, right? Yep. All right. Really?
But you don't know who they are. I mean, you didn't do any investigation and find out a
How
little
would
bit
you
more about
know?
that.
How would you know they didn't have a criminal background if you don't even remember who the guy is? You think this guy paid to have a criminal background check done on somebody that he allegedly sold a gun to? And this cop is like, yeah, all right. What? You're just going to take his word for it?
Of course they did. You know, again,
It's
I
absurd.
keep coming back to the idea of what made them finally issue a warrant. They sat on it, and then they said some information had come to light. What information exactly? What happened? Because they weren't going to do anything, you could tell. I'm curious what that one thing is. Is there video out there that we did not see?
No.
Somebody call in and kind of give the game away. You know, with all the calls that come out of this property and everything else, I wondered about that too. And again, I'm not saying any of that is. I'm just something happened. Something made them say, "Yeah, okay, we're going to actually go in and do something."
All right. So again, go back to yesterday. At no time did you retrieve a handgun out of your pocket, point it at these people. No.
And I can't say what they were pointing at me either.
Yes, sir. How about, you're saying they stopped? Will you say they stopped about the telephone pole there, behind it, in front of it?
Probably in between the wishing well and the pole.
Okay. And was it still raining at the time? Because I know it was raining. Still drizzling?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I came on out to cover up my speakers.
Yes, sir. I remember you saying that yesterday, and I saw that yesterday.
I wasn't coming out that pouring shit, but I waited for it to stop roof. Get the roof.
I'm so afraid of this. There's people coming here every freaking day. And that guy over there, too. There's the great neighbor. There's the bad neighbor.
Yeah, there were 10 people over there for that.
No, I don't doubt it. I mean, like I said, you understand why I'm here. Somebody.
I don't doubt it. Oh, every day there's people coming here every single, if there were people coming there every single day, by the way, there would be video of it. It would be splashed all over the internet. We'd have 10 tons of it sitting out there.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way. But you're like, oh, and that guy over there. Oh, that guy over there. They deflected it. And the police are like, hey, yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt it.
The only thing that gives the police any excuse here is that police can lie to you. They can say anything they want to you to get you to talk to them. So maybe they're blowing smoke up his ass, maybe, where they're like, yeah, I don't doubt it. And they, don't feel that way. I don't know. But it sure doesn't sound good.
That outsider thing was kind of, we'll hear this.
Of course, they're outsiders too.
Oh, yeah. When they're like, these people aren't from here.
They're not from there either.
Not just that. Okay. So you're telling me that I don't know how many people out there own ye old pews, but do any of you really think it's okay that there's a car on the road you have out gifting boxes? You have all, who cares? Give us a snake in the road. Anything. If we went with his narrative that a car slows down, do you think it's okay for you to brandish ye old pew and point that at somebody?
Apparently in Florida you can.
I mean, we
all
have
you
stand
have
your
to say
ground
is you
laws.
felt threatened.
Well, I mean, we have those, and I'll tell you, if something like that happened and you didn't have a good reason for it, you'd be spending a little time, visiting the ye old cell, eating ye old stale soup.
He did spend 40 days there, so it's very strange because it's like they were concerned enough to put him in jail for 40 days, but not concerned enough to actually bring the charges.
That's the prosecutor right there.
Yeah.
I mean, the prosecutor had a case gift wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Did.
With a confession.
It just, amazes me. They're like, well, he probably would have said stand your. So anybody who says that, that's just a get out of bullshit free card, because it doesn't seem to be. I mean, there have been other cases come out of there. That's not been good enough.
Yeah, you can just apparently you can just apply stand your ground to anything, according to these guys. Just anything works.
Yep. That's why. Oh my gosh, that squirrel's out here threatening me, standing my ground.
Right.
Actually, I get you probably could. My squirrel, by the way, nobody better mess with my squirrel. He may hate me, but he's mine.
Is he still mean mugging you in the camera?
He does, man. There is one squirrel out there. I'm telling you, he stops and like gives me dirty look. I know he hates me, and I'm like, I respect that. I do. I even put out food for him. I'm like, hey, don't wreck my cameras, buddy. Here's some food. And you know what? He leaves it alone. He did chew a hole through one of the bird feeders, though. I watched him. That little mean sucker. We had a, one of those you hang up like a little plastic house. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to go to the little porch where all the food goes in. I'm going to chew a hole right through the top of it.
Oh my God. Aren't they unbelievable?
You really are the squirrel devil.
They're so unbelievable.
Yeah, he's probably got like metal teeth. He probably looks like a James Bond villain in his own life.
To make the same allegation, I'm going to be following it up. So I just like to say I want to get some clarifying questions done so I can proceed with what's going on. This person, do they even live in this state? No, they're not from around here, so. But,
That's right.
So more of it's bullshit to set me up.
Over there.
Say, oh no, they're not from around here. It's so dismissive, This place gets some tourism dollars.
Yeah, I was just going to say, does he know Florida is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the United States? So lots of people come to Florida from other places. Why does that automatically mean he's being set up?
Can you imagine a brochure here? Levy County, where we stand our ground.
They should adopt it,
Gosh.
Stay out of Levy County. You could get shot here.
I would love to see like a fake. You don't call it Levy, call it, Odd, very Otter Creek. I'd love to see that. Someone walking by drinking a soda. Man, stand your ground. They call it a soda instead of a Coke. Stand your ground.
They cut you off in traffic. Stand your ground.
Yeah, driving by, the rain's drizzling on you. Stand your ground.
It becomes the answer for everything.
Yep.
That
damn those raindrops. I'm telling you, get off me. I feel threatened.
That bank wouldn't give you any money. Stand your ground.
The gas pump not working. I hate it when the gas pump clicks on and off a little bit. I'm going to stand my ground.
I mean, this really gives Florida a terrible name. This is not good for tourism.
Speaking of gas, those, again, I'm just mentioning something here. Those little stickers of Joe Biden that say, I did that. That people were putting all over gas pumps.
I have those. Yeah, I've got a bunch of
well,
them.
somebody keeps mailing me those. I don't know who, because it never has a return address, but I've probably got, I don't know, 10, 20,000 of those things. They've been mailing them forever. Whoever you are, that is kind of funny. And then I mentioned it one other time. So on the return address part, it actually had one of the stickers. I think they were saying, and it said, I did that. So I guess the return address, maybe I should send them to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was funny.
That would be funny.
You know what? I got everything I need. I'm going to let y'all be. Enjoy the 4th of July. Best you can. Yep. Okay. Thank you. And y'all going to shut the gate on her after I get out? Okay.
I got everything I need.
Sir.
They control the dog. That dog scared me by the tire.
Oh, that dog is always going by car tires.
I know.
Got her?
I'm confused by the taking.
Dogs are up there, right? Okay.
So where was he taking shelter? I thought the chicken coop was back here in the
Yeah,
back.
I don't know where. Well, he said the old chicken coop. I think it's that thing that's falling down.
Oh yeah.
Remember the one she was walking around and there's you're gonna get a nail in your eye.
Oh yeah.
I think
That's
it's
their
that
old chicken
thing.
coop. I got you. Yeah, we have some old buildings on my mom's property that are like that. I kept thinking they have a chicken coop, so I guess that's what was throwing me off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, it looks like one of those Wile E. Coyote catapults, doesn't it?
It does.
He's going to stand over it and catapult over on Jeremy's property. We're going to tether on him to the tree. He's like, I never touched the property. Half dressed like a mummy. Maybe that's what everybody saw there. It wasn't actually after surgery or anything. It was actually testing out the old Acme freaking catapult system.
Possible.
Oh man, that's amazing.
It's really a funny place to stop the video.
They're testing it with their puppy. They're not.
Oh God.
Oh.
So many hazards. So many hazards.
See, that's a tiny road.
Yeah, they're always accusing Jeremy of driving on the wrong side of the road. There is no wrong
Yeah,
side.
there is no side of the road.
It's just one lane.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to take screenshots of that to actually to note that. Because, I mean, look at it.
Look how the car takes up the entire road.
Yep. We have roads like that. You know, I dread running up on a car on something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to pull over.
Now, this is actually the supplemental narrative. You know, we looked over the main filing, but this again, supplemental narrative. Let's just read it real fast. I'm going to go through it fast, okay? 7/11/2024, approximately 8:05 hours. Search warrant was executed. Defendant's address redacted. After reading of the search warrant, the defendant was again read Miranda per my agency issued card. The defendant was asked if he pulled out firearm in a vehicle or driver of a vehicle on the day of the incident. The defendant again denied pulling out a gun and pointed it at, he denied pulling it out and pointing it, my bad, at the vehicle or person in the vehicle. The defendant was asked about him only owning the 9mm, and his cohabitant also owns 9mm. During the course of the investigation, detectives were interviewing witnesses on scene. One witness said the defendant lied to law enforcement. Witness said on the date in question, Cook admitted to her, by the way, to her. We know who that is, by the way. You know, there was all this speculation about who her was. Well, we heard who her was. We heard it on bodycam. Mm-hmm. That he did brandish firearm because he was fearful of what the victim had in his hand. Witness advised that they hid the firearm that was used and consented to law enforcement recovering the firearm. When confronted with witness statement, defendant claimed that he had just bought one 2 days ago from a friend. When asked the friend's name, the defendant hesitated and then advised it was just some guy, and he didn't know his name, that it was just some guy. The defendant was asked again if he pointed the gun at a person or vehicle, and again denied pulling out the gun, pointing it at anyone. The defendant was asked to explain and show what happened the day of the incident. The defendant walked toward the front gate where he had stereo equipment out. The defendant advised he observed white car in question drive by and then turn around and head back to the residence. The defendant advised he tried to hide because he didn't want to be on video. The defendant advised that when the car drove by, he did say something to the driver, which made them stop the car. The defendant advised he then retreated toward the trailers for cover and again denied pulling out, pointing the gun at anyone. After several more minutes, the defendant was informed of information obtained that the defendant did pulled a gun, a revolver, like the victim stated, which is going to be an interesting. Remember, keep this in your brain here because we're going to see something that links there. That's one reason I want to read this. At the victim, 07/03/2024, and the revolver was recovered. The defendant advised he carries a revolver on him at all times. The defendant then continued to deny that he pulled out a gun. 07/03/2024. The defendant finally admitted to law enforcement that on the same date he pulled out the revolver out of his pocket, but he didn't point it at anyone. The defendant was arrested. We know the charge is there again. So just making sure we cover that.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Yeah. Hey, it's Lieutenant Ryan, County Sheriff's Office. I'm here with Sergeant Kinnick. Yeah. Can you talk or do we catch it at a bad time? No, talk. Okay, sir. We got a message to give you a call back reference the investigation.
Yeah, I was wanting to know how come whenever I gave my statement that there wasn't at least 2 charges on John Cook for me and one for my daughter.
Sir, because we have to be able to get a statement from the victim to be able to charge a second count. If it's either us or a forensic interview by a child specialist, but we cannot charge a second count without being able to interview that victim.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, how come? I'm confused. I didn't know that. Like I thought that you know, there's 3 of us regardless, but if you want to give her information or didn't.
No, sir. We have to be able to speak with each individual victim and get a statement from them before we can charge. Before we could file a charge, because there's so much avenue where a defense attorney can come back and attack that, saying, okay, how do we know that's really the perspective of that particular victim? If it's your daughter or your friend that was there, we have to be able to interview everyone independently too, because there's certain elements of the crime for aggravated assault that needs to be met, and we cannot meet those elements of that crime unless we're able to interview those individuals.
All right, but now that since he admitted it.
Okay, now here we have BBB. This actually, I'm going to close the subtitle for just a second. So we have an attachment there. Actually, I have a video there. He says his friend P, we actually know who that is now. That would be Patty, is pressing charges too. Then is that WT? Is that supposed to be what?
I think Wes.
Wes, okay, my bad. I don't even know why. Yes, is that Wes? He couldn't even identify the gun. What the hell's told him the wrong color? So look here. He couldn't identify the gun. He told him. So behind the scenes, you have BBB. He's actually talking, and it's going to get a lot worse there. But it's fascinating. He's like, he couldn't even identify the gun. Told him the wrong color. So let's skip the conspiracy portion of that for 1 second, because that's crazy enough. Is he telling us that he knows about ye old pew pew? Is he saying, oh well, you know, he couldn't even identify it? It's the wrong thing. Where his clients lying.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, either I take this one of 2 ways. Either you're being lied to, Bruce, which you know, if your clients have been lying to you, the proper thing would be to step aside. But of course, that didn't happen. It still won't happen. Either that or he knew about that, one or the other. And he's saying, oh, no, actually, it's a different color.
Yeah, okay, weird.
Yeah, crazy. I think it's crazier.
John Cook admitting that he pulled a gun. How come that I automatically, regardless of...
No, sir, because there's certain elements that we still need to get from the victim, regardless of his admission.
I don't understand this. Pause. What kind of facts do you need to get from the victim, a child victim, when you have the admission of the guy who did it? Really, what facts do you need? If he's admitting that he did it, what else do you need? I don't understand this at all.
I don't understand half of the stuff that they throw in here because.
And then they talk about they're going to have to put her in a forensic interview. It's like, what? He admitted it. He confessed.
Yep. Indeed. I wouldn't want any of these people putting one of their quote unquote specialists on my child. I could understand that. I mean, the way that this is gone.
Me either.
You
Why
have
would you
not.
let one of their child psychologists sit down with your kid when you've got a guy who confessed? Think
Yeah.
about this from the perspective of like a child situation. Like if someone violated a child and confessed, would you still make that child take the stand? Why would you do that? Just to traumatize her?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a small child. Who knows how a child would remember these situations? Like you said, all of that. It's not just an admission. I mean, we have proof, admitted proof, that the firearm was hidden. They went out, they lied about this stuff. They lied about getting rid of and then obtaining. All of that is an absolutely insane lie. This stuff was hidden. The only reason that came to light is because police show up and they have a warrant. That's when all the information, oh yeah, because they're going to search the property. They're there to find out what's there. So of course there's admissions. Why weren't there admissions before that? Because they're hiding evidence. It's so frustrating. This shit frustrates me too.
It's very upsetting.
So I could be the voice for her.
No, sir. We've dealt with 8-year-old victims. This is something we do on a regular basis. My section, investigation section. You know, 8-year-olds, we normally, if we can interview them, we send them to a specialized interview with a child specialist to do a forensic interview. But we need to hear from that particular victim before we can move forward with charges.
Well, they're also saying, okay, before they can press additional charges, they need to talk to victims in there. Okay, well, another victim did come forward. Why then are we not talking about a case that moved forward with Patty by herself?
And there were never more than one charge. And there should have been two because Patty came forward. There was time to add another charge, but they never did it. They didn't do it. And by the way, that whole making children testify thing is one of the biggest reasons why crimes against children are not prosecuted, because parents decide they do not want to put their children through that trauma and facing an opposing attorney that's going to try and poke holes in their story. And that will happen.
Oh, it happens.
And that's why our child offenders generally spend an average of 3 to 7 years for the worst things you can think of being done to a child, because most children, their parents just say, no, we will not have them. They will not testify.
Even more like if you're talking about a crime that happens, you know, most often they're crimes in the home. If it's a crime in the home, your child would be subjected to quote unquote specialists. They get to come in, and not just a lawyer, but you have people that will sit down adversarially. And a child, children understand what's going on. Children understand that they're being called liars. They may not understand the gravity of the situation. In these situations, a child should never be put in a situation like this or any other situation to begin with. Like the CPS thing really annoys me. That one call that we heard, you know, where they're there and they don't talk to the child without somebody there speaking for said child. I've never seen that without a lawyer present. Even with a lawyer present, a lawyer will tell you, you know, these people, they can pretty much do what they want to. You want to be cooperative, but, you know, you want to get everything in a row, make sure that everything's done properly. But even in that, I mean, typically you're talking about them sitting down, doing interviews, all of this stuff. Every facet involving any kids in any of this stuff has been bungled beyond, I won't say anything I've ever seen. I've seen some bad ones, but I mean, this is pretty bad. And again,
look at this, Tim. Does the child specialist use a little pew-pew with the stuffed bear? Yeah, exactly. Like what in the world? This is not one of those fact-heavy cases here. You've got two adult witnesses who can tell the story. The child should be added. The charge against the child should be added simply because the child was there.
Yeah.
Nothing else. There should be no other reason for the child to testify, answer any questions, sit down with a forensic. Well, they just wanted an excuse to traumatize a kid. It's beyond crazy to me. It's crazy.
All of it's crazy to me too, because they wrote it off as YouTube. They have all of this proof. Like, even what does it matter that a person has a YouTube channel? Does that work into, again, these random people? Their whole Florida engagement, Levy County, it went, by the way, this didn't just go out to a couple of people. This went out to thousands and thousands of people. And the prosecutor there is like, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That definitely is going to bring in those tourist dollars.
I'll never go to Otter Creek. I'll never go to Levy County. Never. I will never go there.
No, and that actually saddens me because number one, Jeremy, all the stuff that he's talked about, the good works, and other people too that have really tried to help out this place. But for me, I can't feel safe there. And number two, as far as Jeremy Hales is concerned, if a child will not be protected, then I really do worry about Jeremy Hales. And again, don't contact anyone, please. That is the PSA. We never contact anyone associated with anything that we talk about, nor should you. Thank you.
It's something that we're willing to do. If it's something you want to move forward with, just reach back out to Sergeant Kinnick and we can schedule a forensic interview in the area where you reside. What forensic interview is someone.
Okay, now this is where you still have BBB talking. And you can see dirty deleting's brought up too. You know, BBB, yeah, she brings it up. She's like, dirty deleting, delete, huh? But he says, I wrote, you're a career criminal. You're a liar. I can't wait to sue you. So the response to that is, what am I missing?
I think, though, above that, what he had said before that was, it's been deleted.
Oh,
my comment was deleted.
Okay.
Yeah, because if he.
Oh yeah, because he deleted it. That's right. That was part of the discussion. Thank you. Yes. See, that's why we need more than one person watching these things.
Yeah. You'll see the dirty deleting in another frame. There's another one.
Yeah. And the what am I missing? Watch what's this video? Link. So you actually have the link.
He puts the link in.
So he's telling you straight up. I mean, this is bad business right here. This is him admitting that he went out on behalf of his clients, so that he went after somebody in ongoing potential.
And wait, can he even do that? Because he cannot represent people in Florida without being admitted to the Florida bar, and he is only admitted in federal court. He is not admitted in state court. You have to go to the bar and ask every time and pay another fee when you're representing somebody in another matter. He can't just get blanket representation of them in everything. He can only represent them in the federal case.
So what we're really talking about here is a person that, by their own statements, created an anti-what-the-hales media ecosystem. Somebody that has talked about other people, pulling all of this stuff together. And there have been many allegations of him threatening and intimidating other folks. This right here, even Shara is going to be like, oh, wait a minute. You know, won't they call that witness intimidation? That'll come up in a second, too.
One who specializes in interviewing children from a clinical standpoint, where they do not cause the children further harm or re-victimize them during the interview process.
That's trash too, by the way. That is absolute trash. These people that are specialized in it, man, I've known plenty of them. Again, I've been in mental health. There are some very good people in that, but oh my Lord, by and far,
bad ones too.
Yes. And the way that this is handled, I have no faith whatsoever. You look at the way that they handled Patty, and you tell me that they would have handled this child correctly.
Right. So I totally understand why Wes didn't want to go back if that was part of the deal. I do. I don't understand why he took the money, but I do understand why he wouldn't want to go back.
I wouldn't want to go back at all. I mean, that's I wouldn't feel safe. I would also be afraid that somehow they would flip the script on me. And I mean, you got this guy saying that, I'm going to sue you, make your life hell. He's saying, like, I'm paraphrasing, but he's making these threats. He admits that he made a threat that was deleted there. Yeah, why would he want? I mean, in his mind, if I were looking at that, I wouldn't trust Levy County not to look at me and be like, oh, that guy actually. And somehow, even though there's all these admissions, he's somehow to blame. They blame Jeremy Hales for everything else. Why wouldn't they blame fucking these people? These outsiders. They're not even from here.
Probably move forward, but we cannot charge without being able to admit him. Even if he admits it. Correct, because there's again, this is the third time I'm saying it. There's certain elements that the victim has to tell us.
You know what? I don't care if it's the third time you have to say it. You should be forced to say it as many times as it takes for you to get it through your thick head that that's a stupid rule. The reason why he's asked you 3 times is because he's trying to wrap his head around it. And I don't appreciate police officers who say shit like this, who say, I've had to say this to you 3 times. It's a little hard to let that stupid of a rule sink in. I don't appreciate this. Whoever this officer is needs a better bedside manner, because he's trying to make a victim here feel stupid. And I don't like that at all. I don't care how many times I ask you to explain it to me.
Just a second, I got it right here. Hey, kiddo, what's going on?
Mom, it's at the store one I said get old drinks for us in the family right now. That when Mom was not in the family. You, me, and Sissy.
Okay. All right.
3 and.
Did you make a shopping list for me? Actually, did you make me a shopping list?
No,
Okay.
Sissy helped me.
Well, here, why don't you talk to Sissy and see about making her shopping list? That's actually a good idea. Here, I'll give you a piece of paper and a pen. Bring me my pen back in a minute, okay? Why don't you tell Sissy that y'all need to make a shopping list?
Why do I don't get the whole month?
Oh, you want my whole pad?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Why don't I get the whole pad?
Not fun. You go back to blended day.
Okay, give me a second.
You go back to blended day.
Okay, well, let me pull out my papers here. Okay, there.
You get 2 for blended stuff. Put it right here by. Put it right here in the shop. You get the pen.
Yeah, well, you can bring me my pen back. All right. Well, here, let me cover this. This is stuff that you don't need to hear. Okay, get up. Give me 5.
Can you call Sissy or text? No?
Yes, I will.
Call her then. We'll be right by your side to say the last thing.
Oh, you'll be right here. Okay, well.
Say the last thing.
Okay, well, I told her you're bringing something, so go, take it, and close my door, please. Okay, thank you. Like, I talked on the phone. They're going to get this. Why don't I have this? That's essentially what that is. Yes. By the way, I need tea. I need this. And okay. All right. Give me a second. I'm firing my monitor back up. It's taking a minute. She can't read it, but for people out there, like when I have a party crasher like that, they can't hear anything because everything's headphoned, and I've got a switch on here. I don't want them to ever. They can't read it, but still she can't read. But I don't want to take the chance. I mean, these are horrible situations. As a parent, this stuff really disturbs me too.
Yeah, I mean, why would he want to do? This officer is coming across as being hostile to a victim.
What is their job? Actually, okay, when we're talking about prosecutors and everything else, what is their job? Police serve and protect, right? Who are they serving and protecting?
They're supposed to be serving and protecting victims, innocent people.
Yes, that's their job. That's what we pay them for. See, all these people, man, they get it in their head that they're out there doing their thing. No, they're supposed to be doing our thing. They're protecting
But this guy is treating him like a criminal. He's treating him like the criminal. He's making it as difficult for this, or the law is making it as difficult as possible for a victim to get justice. And it really makes me angry. It makes me so angry, and this is going on in every state. You think that Florida's a place where you get justice because it's more pro police or whatever, or pro victim, but look at how much trouble that they're having. Imagine what it's like for a victim in New York. Imagine. We don't put anybody in jail in New York. Nobody.
Let me know that Jackie asked in the chat, hey, what's this orange box thing by my name? That is actually a membership. Somebody gave you a membership. So that's
cool.
what the little, yeah, where your name changed colors and you have the little icon beside you, you are a member. So somebody gifted that to you. Yeah, it disturbs me because when you listen to this, regardless of what the law says or not, there are ways that you handle victims. You're dealing with them in probably the worst situations, if not the worst, one of the worst situations that they have ever been involved in their lives. I mean, this is high stress. They're trying to figure out how they are going to be represented, because you can't go out and bring your own lawyer into that, which is interesting. Again, you have this guy telling him, I can't wait to sue you. Who represents the people that this happened to? The people that are on the phone right there. So, I mean, again, how would you take that?
Elements that we're required by statute, not the county sheriff's office rules. We talked about the state statute. Certain elements we have to meet before we could file a charge.
Okay, well, I mean, how did we go back doing that living in Illinois?
Okay, what's the closest law enforcement, who's the law enforcement jurisdiction where you were?
Okay, here's another portion of that. So after the link was sent, have the, hey, do you see it now, Shara? No, I looked on the video. I did not see the comment. What comment? She's asked. What video? Oh, on Wes's video, but it was deleted. My comment was deleted. Relax. So she's being told that her concerns about things, just park that. Don't worry about any of that. Just relax.
It was deleted, but probably deleted by Wes.
By Wes. That's the way I took the
that's how I took it too.
Yeah. I believe that's what was said here.
Because he doesn't say I deleted it.
No.
It was deleted.
You need to relax on that. Well, what's fascinating about it now, you were bragging about this to someone else. So if you were going to go in and do all of this dirty BS, leaving a record, oh my God. Oh, man.
Your side?
I guess the police department.
Okay, can you spell that for us, please?
Do what?
Can you spell the name of the police department?
Well, how about? I'm thinking, because I don't want her to be. I know you said that they make sure that they're not more traumatized. Like, yes, sir. We're just now getting to the point where she's not bringing it up every day. It's like every other day, every couple of days now. So I'm afraid if I do that, then she's gonna be talking about it more and more. And
You see that too. I mean, he's noting, I'm concerned about this right here. I'm concerned about this going on with my kid.
Yeah, like I know you're telling me that she's not going to be more traumatized, but it's finally starting to not be her talking about it every day here. So if I have to go put her in a room with some expert who's going to talk all about this, we're going to start all over again. And he's right. He's right.
Not just that, okay? If you're going to set your child down with a specialist for any other situation, like for me, if it were me, I would do my due diligence. I would find out exactly who this person is. I would go through. I would find the best person to actually help out my child. And this is not, just to make this clear, this person, even if they're saying, oh, well, they specialize in this and that. Well, that's not what they're doing. They're not out there helping a child with trauma. If nothing else, they're digging it all back up and heaping it on a child.
Yep.
Now, this statement here, so, you have the question, wait, you wrote that on Wes's video and he deleted it. So there's your comment. He deleted it. Yes. So there's 2 admissions in that. You wrote that on the video. Yes. He deleted it. Yes. All right. Might they say that it's intimidation of a witness / victim? And the answer here, no response needed. They might say, again, I'm going to read it how it's supposed to say. This looks like angry typing or, being upset, being asked. Either that's what that reminds me of. They might say whatever the fuck they want. I don't give a shit. Huh.
I just don't. I'm running out of things to say about this man. I hope to never encounter him. I hope that he is disciplined by the bar. And I hope that he doesn't retain a law license. I mean, I don't know how a person like this can be given a law license. I don't. I really don't. I don't know how he could. Although what I've noticed about bar associations recently, including in this case and other cases, they will put up with so much. It's like they only exist to collect dues from their members and pretend like they do things. I don't think they actually do things. I don't think they actually protect anybody from unethical lawyers. I think they just like to turn a blind eye.
It's insane, like you said, though, and I thought this was a very good point, like you just brought up. This man, the only reason that he's allowed to do anything in Florida, well, that's because the Florida courts gave him permission on that one specific case. So him making these threats, isn't that interesting? I mean, we're just talking about somebody, again, if he can't follow that up, if he's not actually representing and has the ability to go out and sue, then we're talking about a member of the anti-what the hell's media ecosystem that is going out and leaning on some dude, a random dude out there, by the way, not just him. I mean, again, you hear the calls talking about kids, talking about, again, we heard from Patty. I hate what happened with Patty. Like, of everything,
I know.
It's so disturbing.
I talked to her recently, and one of the things that she said was that she hasn't been able to follow this because it upsets her so badly. Because, she was having nightmares. She's been through a lot. If you guys remember our reporting on Patty, she's been through another viral situation that was very bad for her. And this is just, she's got trauma from that. And she can't even watch what's going on here. She is just.
Well, what happened to, these people complain all the time about folks pulling up records. But what happened to these folks? They pointed people at Patty. They made sure that people could find Patty. And she was a victim of a crime. Again, another member of the anti-what the hell's media ecosystem points at these people while this stuff is all out there in process. So you have some of them leaning on Wes. You have some people leaning on and trying to destroy Patty. They were also pulling up records on Wes. I mean, it is absolutely insane. If we were talking about this in some other place, if this happened in San Francisco or somewhere else, I wonder what the outcome, or Nashville. Like, if this happened in Nashville, I think it would be better if we're comparing state to state, or even in Florida. If we went to a main city in Florida, do you think it'd play out the exact same way?
I don't think so. I think when we found that article of that deep dive into Levy County and the prosecutor's office, Dan Owen in particular, and the way he has behaved and his office has behaved, I think we've seen that Levy County on a national level does not measure up to convictions. They're way below on convictions. They're way below on even taking it to trial. They have cases, SA cases with DNA evidence and confessions they refused to try.
Not only that, but when they took Like part of that article that I found really disturbing too wasn't just what was it? Instead of 7%, it was half that, 3.5%.
Yeah, 3 something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But on top of that, like you were talking about the DNA evidence. So what they did in one of those cases is give somebody a deal. That deal, it included them not being registered as an offender. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this involved heel pew pew. This involved a horrendous crime. There was actual biological evidence according to everything there. And yet that person, they got not only a sweetheart deal, but that sweetheart deal did not make them register. That's just, like you said, I run out of things to say sometimes because it frustrates me so completely.
There's a real problem in Levy County at this prosecutor's office.
And again, you know that they're all for making public statements and going out when they have an issue that would impact them, like the financial issue. Oh, they were all over that, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you somebody gets prosecuted associated with that too.
Oh, I bet.
You know?
I bet. Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing. You know, something hits you. One of the issues that you run into, unfortunately, with a lot of prosecutors, they don't want to take something to court because they run on stats. So if they have to take something, even they don't like to go out and have to do work. They would rather give somebody either a plea deal or do nothing at all. They do it a lot and in some pretty egregious things. And that's everywhere. But here it looks like it's even worse. Man, this is crazy. Shara showing this here. I mean, this is wild because they kept saying, "Oh, no, nothing ever happened there. No, none of this stuff." Well, it's his own statements, and again, he's sending letters saying that messages that Shara's been showing about one person are real. I've noticed that he's not out there saying that these messages are fake. By the way,
nope.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if he tries to go with that, But anyway, let's continue.
I don't know.
If it's something that you're,
I know that Krista, the other lady that was with me, I don't know if she's already called y'all or if she tried, but she was supposed to be calling today, and she's doing her side of it.
Yeah. With some,
So,
yes, sir. She might be speaking with one of our lieutenants. And then as far as the daughter, I understand it's a difficult position with you as a dad, and I do respect that. Both of us parents also. So my recommendation to you is just to, think about it overnight, and then give Sergeant Kinnick a call tomorrow and let us know what direction you want to go. We're more than willing to work with you. Sergeant Kinnick is meeting with the prosecutor next Friday. But we're more than willing to work with you to obtain your daughter's statement, if it's a forensic interview or.
Now, this message, this is one thing. Like when you get these big blog messages, I don't know if everybody sees them and stops to read them. So let's look at this one with MP equaling Marla noted across the bottom. I think you are feeling attacked, and I get it. Trust me, who gets it more than me? But I had to sit and listen to my daughter for 2 hours tell me how they're not talking to Jeremy when I know that they have. To tell me how it's affecting her horse business when my tortoise rescue is gone. Telling me how redacted, not saying anything to Jeremy. And then I sent her the YouTube video and she was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, oh, so yeah. And this sounds like bad subtitles with the wrong freaking video type. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, no.
Somebody delivered pizza, you say? And tried it.
I think it's because she does a voice to text all the time.
I don't know. When I do voice to text, I don't remember there being like,
She's probably going, yeah, so yeah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Oh, so yeah. Like trying to get her, and trying to get her thoughts together. I don't know.
I don't know. That's funny. You were like saying, I don't know. And there's, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, trying to, I don't know. This whole thing is getting on everyone's nerves, but I'm not the people in the chat room. None of the people in the chat, my personal group chats, are Jeremy or George. None of them. And I told them that you're not Jeremy or George. We are all working together. We're working together, huh? That's interesting. That's a fascinating statement there. And I think the problem with Marla and Victoria is that they've been working to take Jeremy down for months.
Oh boy.
Oh, well. So
Who's
Marla has been
Victoria?
working. Victoria has been working to take Jeremy down for months, huh?
Does anybody know who Victoria is?
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. Who is Victoria? Does anyone in the chat
There
know
is
who
a
that is?
Victoria in the ecosystem. She goes by Tori.
I mean, is that what they're talking about there?
I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, is there somebody we're not thinking of as a player?
There
in
could
this?
be another one. Obviously, Victoria is a common name.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat says Victoria Munsell. I don't know a Victoria Munsell.
I don't know who that is. So.
I don't either. I don't know all the players in this case though, but apparently it's someone. According to the chat, they're saying Victoria is in California. How does she? How does she fit into this?
Vicky Brush was like, it's not me.
What the hell? Okay, Jeremy's in the chat. He says Victoria Munsell, a hater.
Okay. I'll have to, like, again, I can't keep up with all of these.
I can't keep up with the characters.
Well, it's insane. It's not just, you've got all these bit players that come in and have done stuff, but then you have this ecosystem that they're admitting people have been working for months together. We are all working together. So, I mean, that statement, all of them, and they've been working for months. And I think maybe they're a little bit jealous. Maybe they, want to be the ones to do it. So they want to be the ones to take him down. That's very well could be what's going on, but I don't know for sure. It takes a village, and we need to be that village.
Oh, God.
It takes a village, and we
I wonder if she learned that from Hillary Clinton's book.
Well, what's crazy is usually that's in reference to raising kids.
Children, yeah.
Yeah, but instead of that being a focus, it's a focus on taking a village to ruin this guy. That's something else.
That's called Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When there were first statements about Rico, I was like, I mean, again, you hear people that talk about conspiracy and all of this. And, we've heard, for example, BBB talking about conspiracy and more, pointing it at folks like ourselves. And it's like, what? What are you talking about here? Meanwhile, again, I'm not working to take anyone down, by the way. I want to find out what is all there. I want to see the complete picture of this madness. And meanwhile, look at what they do.
It's crazy.
The forensic interview to me makes the most sense. Because when they do the forensic interview, she's in a room, very kid friendly. They have like dolls and drawings and stuff like that, and they do it in a very therapeutic way, and it's also recorded, so that way as she goes through the judicial process, she doesn't have to repeat the statement multiple times. Like for you, for example, when you talk to a prosecutor, you'll have to give them a statement again. With your daughter, the forensic interview is something that the prosecutor will utilize, and they wouldn't have to talk to her a second time.
Okay. And I had another question. Since Lynette, or I don't know if it was Lynette or if it was the other.
So Marla's post here. So another one added. So from Redacted, we see the redacted folks here. Marla Was this a sole purpose to intimidate witnesses? My. You sure are looking for a case. Here's an answer. You're a crazy lady. How are you going to defend your witness intimidation there, Marla May? I mean, we all saw it. Doing Deuce's dirty work. Now I see. No way you would post this without his instruction. You're no more than a pawn. And she's like, witness intimidation? Like JH tries daily? Snort. Oh my God. Can you imagine typing snort?
I may have done so in the past.
Witness intimidation?
I have typed snort before. I will admit it. I'll admit it. I think it's kind of funny.
I've never gotten into like animal sound, you know.
Well, it means snort laugh, you know. That's like you know, some of us have that problem. I don't think I've ever heard you snort laugh. I do it all the time.
Real, I'm gonna be like, witness intimidation. Chortle.
Chortle.
Yeah, chortle.
Chortle. Yeah, that's good. That's a good descriptor there. Chortle.
Chortle. I'm gonna start putting that on stuff.
I once had a double snort. I think that was with Jeff. I snorted and then he snorted, and we were laughing about double snorts.
People are like giggle snorts. A guffaw.
Guffaw.
my sorry, guffaw.
You know, if you get me giggle snorting, though, it was funny.
Oh yeah, I've heard that a few times. I think I have probably busted one or two out there. When you're running out of oxygen, you're like, "Oh my Lord, I can't breathe anymore."
Yes.
Okay, let's continue.
Admitted to hiding the gun.
Yes, sir.
Will there be charges for that?
That's something that we're going to leave up to the prosecutor. Right now, our main focus is the utilizing her as a witness against John. And
so you notice what the discussion here is. You know, he's asking, will there be charges for hiding said pew pew? And they're talking about their main focus is utilizing her as a witness against John.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Am I catching the right her? You know, are we still?
Yeah, back up a little bit. Let's hear that again. I need to hear it in context.
I'm just going to go back 10 seconds. Okay, that way we catch all of the.
Will there be charges for that?
That's something that we're going to leave up to the prosecutor. Right now, our main focus is the utilizing her as a witness against John.
Oh God.
And it's
so yeah.
Where
oh my God.
The prosecutor make that call. But in the grand scheme of things, her being truthful with us is what broke this case.
Yeah, so they're talking about they were aiming to make.
No, wait.
Huh.
I think he's talking about Patty.
Are you sure?
Truthful with us is what brought this case.
I know. He's talking about Preston because of the hiding of the firearm. Like, listen to this.
Oh, wait, go back again.
Yeah, this is about Preston. They're talking about Preston here.
All right. I got to listen closer.
Okay, here.
Lynette, or I don't know if it was Lynette or if it was the other girl on the property admitted to hiding the gun.
Yes, sir.
Will there be charges for that?
That's something that we're going to leave up to the prosecutor. Right now, our main focus is the utilizing her as a witness against John. And it's one of those situations where we let the prosecutor make that call. But in the grand scheme of things, her being truthful with us is what broke this case open. So if any charge is going to be filed, that's going to be a decision made by the state attorney's office.
Huh.
So number one, they're not going to file any charge against her whatsoever, even though she went out of her way, admitted that she had concealed evidence. She knew all of this was a lie. They weren't going to do anything. In fact, their statement to Wes is, we're going to try to use her as a witness against John Cook.
I never even considered that they might press charges against her, but truthfully, yeah, what she did is a crime.
I mean, you know,
it's obstruction of justice at the very least.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was right there too. When you look at the police discussions, I mean, she was not Mirandized. You know, John was actually Mirandized at the moment, but she was talking. She was saying, you know, everything that happened, or according to her, didn't happen. You know, she said for the longest time, well, John said this, John there, this nothing happened, that didn't happen. But when the police went there, that's when it all popped off. Unless, again, I am curious, though. Again, how did we get to the point where we have a warrant? And that's the one question that I have. How did we get there? Again, some people were like, oh, there's Travis video, or there's something else. Oh, okay. Are we sure that's it? Was there a statement somewhere that we don't know about? I'm curious. I very much am curious about it. And again, I have no idea. I'm just wildly speculating. Really, I'm not even speculating. I'm asking a question. But yeah, they should have pressed charges. They should have pressed charges against John Cook. I mean, but then again, they won't press charges against John Cook. So
why would they go after her? Yeah.
But it is wild when they're telling him, they're like, oh yeah, well actually, we're looking at her to be a witness again. So Cookie Boy, you're very lucky that you whatever went on with Levy County goes on there. But you are, I mean, you look at all the statements that have been made about him, being a liar, being a monster. He's abusive to her, according to her, abusive to family. Look again, the ex-wife statement. Look at her statement about child. One day, man, one day, if it would have gone that far, do you think she would have testified against him?
No,
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I think it's all an act. I think it's all an act. I think all of it is an act. I believe it is my opinion, it is my theory that she tells a lot of lies about John when it's convenient. I don't believe anything she says.
You don't think that if cornered and told, hey, we're thinking about pressing charges if you don't do this, you don't think that she would turn on a person in a cocaine heartbeat?
Maybe, but to save herself, yeah. But then again, I think these two are more in cahoots than she claims. She claims she wants to get away from him, but that's not really true, because she divorced him and then moved with him. But told people she wasn't staying with him. She was leaving him behind. That was all part of the divorce grift, I think. And also consider that if you get divorced and you're a single mom, you get more benefits. So I don't believe that this bad relationship allegedly between her and him is actually bad. I think they have a relationship that works for both of them. And they both have a role in it. That's what I think. But that's just, it's my guess. It's just what I see.
Well, there are certain claims that you can make about a person that, in any other circumstance, I guess, except in Levy County, they would be life ruinous, Like when people are telling
But he sure doesn't react to any of it.
No, not at all.
So why? Why doesn't he react like a normal person when someone accuses him of the most heinous things known to man? Because either it's a couple of things. Either he knows it's not true and she's playing some game they're both involved in. Or, I mean, he's just a psycho, because who wouldn't react to that kind of allegation?
Well, yeah, I mean, with the reaction there, like I said, is there truth to that? That is a question, by the way. I'm told all the time that I need to listen to LP and to believe that all of this somehow it involves some kind of bad neighbor script fantasy, and I should listen to everything she says. Okay, well, I did listen to what she said. I listened, I saw the text, and if I'm taking her word on it, the person that they're talking about there, man, I mean, there's some serious allegations.
But remember, she has made serious allegations about several other people throughout her career. In fact, one of the allegations led to a woman being locked up in prison. And they're the same allegations that she made against John. She makes these allegations against anyone who criticizes her. She made the allegations against Landon. She's made them against Lloyd. She's made them against John, against the ex-wife of two of her husbands. She has made those allegations against her daughter, her grandchild. I mean, she's made these allegations about everyone. So either you believe that everyone around Lynette is a horrific, worst kind of child rapist imaginable, or she makes false allegations. There's no two ways about it.
And that's the kicker there. Like either way, this should be a problem that people that are out there saying, well, believe. Again, this should be a problem no matter what, because either they're saying, oh no, and they are saying, by the way, oh no, he's actually a great father. He does all of this stuff. Okay, well, you're saying that she's a liar then.
Yeah, and by the way, the only documented evidence we have of children being taken away from someone in this story by authorities is the Iowa situation where Ashley was taken from Lynette for child abuse. It's pretty severe that we read. And now we have from Lynette's own postings, and again, whether you believe them or not, that CPS came and took her grandchildren away from her too. So the only person in this whole story that's had children removed from her care for serious allegations is her. She was not with John in Iowa. She didn't know him in Iowa. So there's a part of me that thinks this is a lot of projection, perhaps. I don't know. I haven't cracked it yet. I haven't. I have questions.
Like,
I have questions.
I keep getting stuck on this one point here, because this point is it's a very troubling point, because either there are lies, which is serious, or the flip side of that is horrific. It is unimaginable.
Which is why this situation calls for a real investigation involving not just child services, but police, and a medical team. There are too many allegations from too many people now surrounding this situation who know these people and the child, who have said there's troubling red flags, including the medical condition of the child, the possible treatment of the child, possible neglect or possible abuse. And these allegations need to be investigated by law enforcement. And fine, DFS should be able to investigate with them, but this is a law enforcement matter, in my opinion. I believe if what is going on here, if what witnesses are telling me is true, including using of drugs to sedate and all of those things, these are crimes. So crimes need to be investigated by police, or potential crimes. And that's something that has not happened here. And you put together the other things we've discovered, the multiple aliases, several different states, adoption that might have been the paperwork has, what I've seen, the paperwork I saw has lies on it, a lot of lies. We're talking about, then that could be considered fraud. There are many things in this story that need law enforcement's attention, just to make sure that this is not what we think is going on, is either not going on or is going on, and then take care of it.
Yes, and note, don't contact to note, because that
yeah,
is
right.
not
I'm just saying what I think.
Yes, it should happen.
I'm not telling anybody
Actually,
to do anything.
the thing that they're running into, again, BBB keeps talking about leaning on people. Again, they're going to sue over this specific item. Okay, well, if you're going to sue about that, then it'll bring everything into a courtroom. Every single item that has been discussed there. And you verified the texts are real.
Think about how many places are involved, how many states, even another country. Germany, Iowa, Florida, several cities in Florida, several different names in each place. I mean, my God, this is not trackable unless law enforcement that could talk to one another in all these different states. So maybe, feds, maybe, I don't know, but they need to be able to talk to one another and find out, actually track this person and find out what's been going on, because this is not normal. This is absolutely not normal. I heard that one of the walruses said that having multiple names is normal. In what world? Maybe her world, where she serial squats
the only time
in places and runs.
Yeah, the only time I could see, okay, marriage, I guess you would have a name change with that, of course. And I have thought about changing my name to Thaddeus Eugene. No, I'm just kidding. No, I thought.
Yeah, marriage. I've had two names, which is totally normal. My maiden name and my married name. That's normal. It is, and it's normal to have several different last names if you have several different marriages. What is not normal is to have 4 or 5 now different first names to go along with those 7 or 8 last names. No. That's not normal in any way. You know what's not normal? Renaming your baby 3 times with 4 first names and changing them each time. That's not normal. These are red flags that are like, they're on fire. They're so red.
The red flags, again, they can say anything that they want for deflection, but the red flags that situate, they come from the person that they raised money for, that they defend all the time, their own statements. That by itself should be enough to cause some people to have some serious questions. But of course, there are a lot of people that, they just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that at all. They want to pay attention. And you know what amazes me is that when people will send me screenshots, like the screenshots talking about the cruise or whatever, I'll see comments that are placed with that as well. And there are people out there that say, well, I just listen to this. I just listen to you. I don't listen to, okay, well, you don't look into anything whatsoever. You just drop your money and you believe people that have told you that they are actively running PR, that they're actively picking up money with, how many red flags? Again, we went through all of that, how the money goes, people themselves, they have red flags. There are statements that are, good Lord.
Yeah,
if this were a construction site, if this were a construction site, and that many red flags popped up.
Yeah, this construction site would be shut down by the authorities if there were that many red flags. OSHA would say, nope, we're shutting it down.
Yep.
But this just has continued for an entire lifetime. She is in her 60s, and she has been doing this for a very long time.
After they review the entirety of the case and they speak with Sergeant Koenig.
All right. Well, I will be getting a call back tomorrow. I appreciate you guys giving me a call. I'll let you know.
No problem, sir. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.
So November the 9th, 2024, you're making me feel intimidated as a journalist on this story. And you are saying things here that are blaming me for things I did not do. This is harassment, and I feel intimidated by your team, client, and PR. Toe leaves for the record. No more communication, please. Thank you. So she's actually asked for no more communication as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we have yet more letter. She's a fucking federal witness. We have communications. can turn the music down actually until it. It's very loud on there. Okay, let's see. Here we are. So this was that letter.
The music drop was pretty good for this letter. I liked it.
Yeah, it is. It is. It just actually, like I said, she puts together a very good video. I have to give her props with that. You know, there are a lot of things. She makes a point. This point is a very good point, by the way, and they are chocked full of evidence. So again, just reading this quickly, the doxing of old private messages. This is from BBB to Shara. And again, you look at the date here, making this very clear. We are talking about something that happened 6 days ago. So this is not old hat. This is new. This is new, no. So Shara, the messages between you and LMNOP from a year ago and longer.
Wait, Tug, LMNOPR. Don't forget R. We're adding letters now.
I need a bot, like I need one that says or not. Instead of saying LMNO, it's getting so big. Maybe I need to go with the person that is not. You know what I mean? Be like Z.
The letters that she doesn't use. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it needs to be like reverse bingo. Which ones do not get checked? From a year ago and longer, which are shown in your YouTube video, were confidential and sent in reliance on her trust in you. If you had valid concerns, you failed to raise them at the time because you were more concerned with your position as a trusted insider with Miss Preston. For you to manipulate a victim and then use her private confidential communications to make monetized YouTube videos is against journalistic ethics and is also a terrible thing to do to someone who placed their trust in you. I hope you will stop adding to / encouraging the attacks against the victims of Hale's cyberstalking, as your synopsis so effectively conveys what they are, by continuing to publicize private communications made to you in trust. Assuming this email will be shared and doxed, I am not sending it to anyone else. It is not a quote-unquote threat of a lawsuit. If you have counsel, I invite you to have them contact me. Thanks and Happy New Year, Bruce.
This is like all the best. All the best.
It just amazes me. Yeah, looking at that. It's like, this totally isn't me threatening. By the way, what's the name of your lawyer again? Just trying to figure that out. So, all right.
And then the next thing coming up should be her response, which we've not read yet. It's pretty epic.
That's where I'm going. I'm actually going to jump there. I know. All right. So, Shara to BBB. This is good, by the way. BBB, respectfully, thank you for confirming the concerning screenshot is authentic.
Yep.
Good job, BBB. I am thankful you are finally as concerned as I remain. I love it. My concerns have been with the family and the child all along, regardless of my position today. I did raise my concerns for the child then and all along, including raising my concerns with you regarding the child and the case multiple times, beginning 10 months ago. You dismissed my concerns sharply, often yelling at me because you were more concerned with your mac and cheese fame plans, and you stated so. Upon discovering alarming evidence, including threats of harm, I have also developed ongoing concerns for the safety of Jeremy Hales and his partner, George. Regarding the synopsis you made me write using your direction, you were to use it strictly to obtain lawyers for your client, redacted at the time. It was never meant for any other use. Yeah, isn't that fascinating how that worked out, huh? You have since begun using it with the quote-unquote privilege part redacted, and that is indeed correct. Privilege right across the bottom. Oh, well, they removed that. And I do not understand the purpose of its continued use by you or your purpose of doxing me with it in multiple YouTube videos. I like that, by the way. If he's going to be like, doxing, information is doxing, well, why are you doxing me? Yep. So, 2 leads in a pond, Middletown's best, Super Dave, and now shared on numerous other YouTube videos as a result, while the host of those videos slandered me with you present. And that is a huge part of that.
He wants to be the only one who can report things, say things, insult people, etc. He if anybody else does it, somehow it's illegal and defamation, and it's nuts.
Well, it's also fascinating to me. Again, you're talking about the Jeremy Hale's depot, for example. When they're sitting there, like for me, I want everything on the record. I want every little tidbit because it's all a complete picture. But we see highlighted portions that are being brought up with this person present. Is it like the other one where we had highlighting sent to people out there? Do we know the source of said highlighting? Is that a narrative that's being framed? So you also continue to email the synopsis to others in unethical ways, using it in my name against my will. I feel harassed by you in the position you manipulated me into after you aggressively pursued me in Facebook Messenger beginning March to April 2024. I was uncomfortable writing your synopsis, and when you asked me to write another, I refused. Oh, so you wanted me to write another one too? That's interesting. I have not, as you already know, I did not give you permission for its continued use for any reason. That's interesting too. I mean, he talks about permission and use. So your client is a public figure, and she urged me to investigate and report her entire Otter Creek story. We've seen proof of that, by the way.
Yep. This is the greatest part of this letter.
Yeah, it gets really good here.
Yep.
So in 2023, I was invited and urged by your client to fully investigate and report her Otter Creek story and words. She told me alarming things that gave me concern for her safety and her child's well-being. Redacted gave me full permission to collect and report her words, evidence, statements, and public records while receiving those through messages, texts, emails, phone calls, and phone interviews.
Well, that's a big problem for him.
Yep.
To say that it was private communication, because I know that Shara did get this permission from Lynette, both in writing and on recordings, to record. She got permission to record, to interview, to collect all of the messages between them. This is a real problem with him running around. It's private. It's private. Oh, no, sir. She asked a journalist to cover this story. She gave her permission to use her words, to use her emails, her messages. You don't then get to turn around and say it's private.
No. Check something real fast. Okay, let me.
This has happened before in quite a high-profile case, actually. The Menendez brothers. You know about the Menendez brothers, right? Who killed their parents. Well, one of them, not Lyle, the other one. I always forget the other one's name. The one who's not Lyle was in a. He started this relationship with a reporter who said she was writing a book and they were going to write a book together.
Yep.
And she was on the phone with him, and he's so too stupid to know that they were recording him. And she's on the phone with him, asking questions for this book, and interviewing him and getting him, making all these admissions, etc. And she had told him they were going to write this book together. Then one day she disappears. She publishes the book and all his letters that he wrote to her with all these admissions, doesn't include him in it at all. And it completely destroys his appeal, his not appeal, his retrial.
His retrial, yeah.
He can't even testify. It's so bad. The admissions that were made and the things that he said to her. Now, is she in any kind of trouble? No. You if a reporter comes to you, a reporter, much like a police officer, can lie to you. There's no law against them lying to you. I'm not saying Shara did that. I'm saying in this case, this woman even lied to him, told him she wanted to write a book. She never wanted to write a book with him. She wanted to get his story. Now, you can argue, is it ethical what she did? There's an argument to be made that it isn't. But also, there's also an argument to be made that she thought the guy was a murderer and she was going to catch him in a confession. So, there's no issue there. She didn't get arrested. She didn't get arrested. She didn't get sued. Nothing. And this is even less alarming than that. This isn't alarming at all. Shara had Preston's full permission to do this.
Oh yeah, they wanted her on this story because they thought that she was going to cover things only from a particular point of view. They were sure of it. In fact, they kept calling her their journalist. Well, they admit she's a journalist, but they thought, oh man, she's not going to do that. And she tried to walk away. The dumbest thing in all of this, like we've said many times, is the fact that she was quiet. She actually persisted. She wanted her $311. Man, but everything that they communicated and she knew, I mean, to go out to deny her that, then to go out and gaslight her, then on top of it, start to call her a liar, make all of these threats and more. How was she supposed to respond?
How is she supposed to respond to these threats? How does he think people respond to threats? He's learning how people respond to threats. It's not well, Bruce. It doesn't really get you what you want, does it? Well, I don't know when he's going to learn.
He keeps saying like he's gonna sue myself, yourself, and so many other people. Okay, well, I want to find every little bitty piece of evidence that's hiding under every rock out there, because if you want to go that route, I mean, you're saying, well, you need to investigate this. You need to investigate it further, because I'm saying that you're lying about it. Okay, well, thank you for confirming. First of all, Shara's not a liar. That confirms a lot of things, including where they said that, Jeremy Hales was doing all of this related to a child for clicks. Well, thank you for confirming that there actually are legit concerns. She herself noted that. Thank you. That's I've never seen a lawyer act so dumb. Okay, let's continue reading this. Blows my mind.
Well, Baby Jingy is a close runner-up.
Close, but I mean,
not this bad. He did the witness intimidation though, but not this bad.
Yeah, Jiggy wasn't like, hey, by the way, all of this incriminating evidence. I mean, he's made statements that I'm like, wait a minute, are you admitting that this client said X, Y, or Z? But I mean, if you think about that, that would be comparable to him going out and being like, that sonogram that is faked while you're doxing that.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute.
I mean, he did threaten to have Mike Maricini arrested if he came to a court he was subpoenaed to be at, which was pretty bad.
It's horrible.
Pretty bad. It was really bad. But I mean, it didn't reach the level, I don't think, of don't show up to testify. I think he got around it somehow. I mean, there wasn't he parses his words better. Let's put it that way. He's better at parsing his words. Bruce just flat out threatens you. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
I know.
It is.
I can't wait. I can't wait to sue you. To a witness? A criminal witness?
Isn't that witness intimidation? I don't give a
fuck.
Oh my God.
And he thinks that it's defamatory to compare him to Jingy. Jingy's going to be able to start saying it's defamatory.
Yeah, it's defamatory
to Bruce.
Yeah, dude. So Shara continues, though, saying each time I would leave, her story with concern. So she's talking about like what we were just noting. Every time I would leave, Miss Preston would urge me back while sending me GoFundMe campaigns in which she stated her child needed my help. I cared very much to help in any way I could. For example, buying insulation for the shed the child was living in to help retain cooling in the Florida heat, costing me several $100s and a few hundred for emergency electrical repair. The money for electrical repair was not used for electrical repair. That is a scam, ma'am, by the way. You can report that to authorities.
Oh, that's interesting. She should.
Yes, very much so. Anybody that's out there that feels that they have been scammed, that should be investigated if they have given money. You don't actually have to give money to report a scam, but people that feel that they are scammed, they have the right to report that.
And you report that to the police. That's a police matter. And in fact, if you look at ye old Gabe and his situation, that's exactly how he got caught. The woman who he took money from and didn't do the repairs called the police, made the report, and they investigated that, and they found enough to charge him with grand theft. So that can happen. So Shara, maybe you should consider that.
Well, they would also, I mean, you're not talking about one GoFundMe either. You were talking about several, dozens of instances where money had been raised. You're talking about ongoing again with no stated goals, or there are so many issues there.
She doesn't mention here what the money was used for. I do wonder what it was used for and how she knows.
Question. Yeah, how she knows that. Like I am curious
because that would probably make a difference in whether or not she can report it.
Like in my heart, money in 2 years of my life. That's the biggest part of this. Money, yes, it's finite. But the one thing you have to remember about money, the reason that it matters really, is because you are giving your time to make that. That does not come back. On top of that, she gave 2 years of her life to help this person. And again, based on lies, she told me, confirmed by records over time. For 2 solid years, I've not collected 1 penny, working endless hours in this case. In fact, I have always given largely in this and every case. I'm continuing to collect and report the Otter Creek story to great public concern. That is indeed correct right there, too. It is public concern as well as my concern for the child and safety of others. Your untrue, harmful statements and accusations about me in your email are far more than unethical. They are unacceptable. I am only kind, helpful, caring, and giving. You continue to make me feel harassed, intimidated, and unsafe. And I mean, she made it clear in a federal court that she feels this way. That is in her deposition that she feels all of that.
It just feels like all of this is a police matter, and yet it's not being treated like a police matter. And, it's difficult because Shara's in a different state, than Bruce. So we do have this problem where you can be being threatened by someone and harassed and intimidated by someone. And if they're in a different state, it's like, who do you even call? Who do you call?
At what point does the issue of witness intimidation become a real concern? At what point do courts say, wait a minute, this is actually a really bad issue?
Well, frankly, the police that she spoke to, I think, made a mistake when they told her that she needs to alert the court. Like, no, sir, you're the police here.
Yeah,
you are supposed to investigate this and then do something about it because it's a crime. The federal court can't do anything about this. Shara doesn't have a lawyer in that court. She's not represented. She's a witness. Most witnesses are not represented by attorneys when they testify. So the only people who can help her are the police. And if they need to report it to federal marshals or to FBI so that they can go across state lines, well, then that's what her police ought to be doing. This is, to me, I am so tired. I am so tired of hearing police and different law enforcement agencies say that they don't know what to do, and maybe you should go tell the federal court. Like, no, this is your job.
Well, what you do is you report to the police, you report to the FBI, and you report to the U.S. Department of Justice. For the FBI, that would you can contact them at office, but also I remember reading the synopsis of this a while back. You know, you can fill out one of those what they call them, the IC3, I think, because it looks like ICE, so it's IC3 reports, I believe. You know, if there's an internet crime complaint, so you can report that. But you can also register with the DOJ. They have a notification thing. I'm sure. Actually, let me look this up. Let me see what it says. Let me see. Report witness intimidation.
Yeah, but then you think about our FBI and the state of it. The state of our FBI is so bad. You know, they're not even out there. They're putting grandmas in jail for being in the you know, for having a flag at the Capitol. They're not doing what they should be doing. I found out recently that the FBI won't do anything when police contact them about a guy they found with CP on his phone. They won't do anything for a one-time thing. The only kind of people they want are the ones who are downloading thousands of images. But if you find one guy in your state and you call the FBI, they won't do a damn thing about it.
Even more. Okay, so you know those predator poachers. You know the people who go out. Okay. There are certain states I found out, because there's a really high profile one that talks about, you know, busting people all the time. And I mean, they go in, you can see the communications, they keep chat logs, they keep logs on everything that's showcased to them. There are there are states rather, where they don't do anything at all. It's actually it's actually not their purview. They say that they don't investigate crimes where citizens, they collect the evidence. And I'm like, wow, what? I'll have to look up what state that happened in.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because I was complaining about that a few months back. You could see there was a there was a phone contact with police regarding something, and they were like, wow, they wouldn't even take the complaint. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of dysfunction out there.
It's so much dysfunction. It's like, yeah, of course the feds should do something because this is a federal crime, you know, witness tampering, witness intimidation. But will they? I mean, it's not that it's not worth trying. It's just that I'm highly doubtful that they'll do anything.
You know what this proves, though? The desperation and all of that proves that Shara is lawsuit proof. Anybody can bring a lawsuit, but as far as them being able to actually do anything with it, no. Nothing. In fact, you know, they go after her. They go after her for her free speech fundamental rights, and also admitting that the stuff that she's actually putting out there is legit and real. Yeah, she's gonna get she'll get money back for that. Let's see, there's stuff coming. I'm jumping a little forward. Okay, wait, right here. I'll angle up the volume.
This is the one that made me gasp.
Right, Pops? They also tried to say that they were trying to hire a hitman. Remember that whole story, Kendra? You probably heard it.
In China,
Yeah. Now they're trying to reference that because this girl who was supposedly this search person who was supposedly on her side, but she's flip-flopped. This is the second time she's flip-flopped. Now this person has said that she heard them say something about a hitman. First of all, you know, we'll just reference it this way. How many mafia movies have you ever seen? Is it cheap to hire a hitman?
No.
How on earth would that even come up? And quite frankly, I don't think that would even be necessary.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
my
What?
God. Wait, back up, hear it again, because we talked over the last part. You know what I mean? Let's just hear that one more time. Yeah, from here.
No.
How on earth would that even come up? And quite frankly, I don't think that would even be necessary. You know what I mean?
What the what, man? Good Lord. No wonder people feel intimidated in this stuff. First of all, let's be clear about this whole idea of quote unquote hitman. We've actually seen multiple cases where police have been approached, and in those, some people, you know, they don't go out. They're not hiring the mafia. This isn't a movie. They're trying to get somebody out there that has been referred, and sometimes we're not talking about a lot of money. It's frightening. It is frightening. You know, somebody
the chat is saying, like, yeah, you can hire a crackhead to kill somebody for $100. I mean, there are people out there who have done worse for less. And the idea that a person would be laughing about this and suggesting that they don't even need to hire somebody, if you know what I mean. This is disgusting. How do these people have any audience to listen to this? How do the people sitting there listening to that not go, hey, wait a minute, we might not like the guy, but are we really talking about what I think we're talking about?
That should disturb people. That should.
What does it say about the people who continue to listen to that, who continue to support that and send them money? Heck, how much money have they gotten? Is it enough money to do the thing they're talking about?
That's disturbing. And no wonder, you know, when Shara is keeping a record of all of this and she's saying that she feels unsafe. I mean, listen to that and imagine people are talking about you, you know, out there. Any one of you, imagine that would be you. You have been privy to these conversations. You've been privy to the ecosystem. You actually have seen the threats. So you have a real feel for who these people are. And your name comes up like that. How would you feel? Because I certainly wouldn't feel safe.
And then to hear them laughing about it and
actually, to be honest,
they don't even need to pay anybody, like that to me sounds like they already know somebody.
Well, here's the thing too. When I say I wouldn't feel safe, do you honestly feel safe sometimes? I see some of the crazy shit people say or they send, and I'm like, yeah, that's nuts. Like I said, I go out when I'm with my kids, especially I'm strapped because it's like, who knows what kind of crazy person might be motivated to do something. And I'm not a witness in this. I'm not one that, again, has enough evidence, I think, to really make a case here.
Recently, one of their chat members who lives in Maine put 3 different threats about me and my children in their chat about they're coming after my husband, they're coming after my children where we live.
Yeah.
You know, now maybe it's just some crackpot weirdo in Maine who lives with a bunch of chickens and a loud rooster. And but I'm just saying, I take that very seriously. You don't see that happening here. You don't see us saying things like this because we're not criminals. And we love the law. We like to talk about legal cases. At no time ever have I ever engaged in threatening someone's family, laughing about a hit, threatening to go after someone's children where they live. Like, this is some crazy shit. This is some ridiculous, crazy shit.
It's some dangerous shit is what it is. It's actually what it is. It's a very dangerous thing that's going on. By the way,
it's incitement is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's incitement to violence. Let's just call it what it is.
And we're dealing, like I said, with a case where people that are discussing this, they are looking at being potentially named as co-conspirators in a case as well. So that makes it even crazier. And I mean, there's just so many. I don't know. I'm so boggled by some of the stuff that I see people say attached to this. Again, that they point at not just Jeremy Hales. That stuff is holy crap. No wonder he freaking records everything. No wonder he has to. But beyond that, again, Shara, she's talking about, again, they've confirmed. We have BBB confirming that the messages that she's been showing, they're legit. Her concern is legit. And for that, by the way, the old dirty deleting thing, she was bringing that up here too. You know, they keep saying that she's a dirty deleter. She's a dirty deleter. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Unsend. Trying to bear in that conversation there. Let's see. I can't remember. If there's more.
Oh yeah. So this one, at the time when I read some of these screenshots, there were some replies in here which made it sound like maybe she had gotten the Adderall mixed up with some other drug. But according to Shara says that she has evidence that she was on Adderall. And
Okay,
so there may be more coming.
To the Adderall they gave her? So small child is sleeping due to the Adderall that they gave her.
Apparently Adderall works opposite on little ones. So instead of being a stimulant, it can knock them out or make them.
Well, a small child, giving a child something like that is very dangerous. I mean, are you talking adult dosage to it?
I don't know. Child? I don't know.
But even then, I mean, with anything, if you're talking about a small kid, if you look at even over-the-counter medications and you read them, there's a certain age limit that you pop in, and under 5 or 6, you usually have warnings of no. So my heart aches for her, my poor girl. Where, when, how did I do something wrong? Feed her wrong when she feed her wrong. Did she fast too long at the grocery shopping? Could I have stopped this? I'm in tears, my sweet child. I ache inside. We got lax because she seemed so normal. And well, and here we are. God take it cuts off that. Let's see. Give me 1 second to jump in. So then you have here, there was a child protective investigation note at the top. There's redacted. There's an image redacted there. She's okay. John's making her leave today. He said he doesn't effing care. She's got to go. Well, when she goes, he's going with her because he's just as dangerous, just as abusive as Jeremy. He's an alcoholic, and I believe that he would do something bad to my daughter. I'm done playing this GD game with everybody.
What is that up on the top? Do you see that? Child protective investigation?
Yeah, this is some kind of message that was sent here. So it says child investigator. There's overview. It's some kind of screenshot.
It looks like like if you go to your navigation on your phone and you look something up, it's like the directory that shows you
it's like a
child protective investigations.
So this is a place. That's what it is, because they're looking
with
up
a contact number.
Yeah, because it's reviews about. So this is actually
okay. So she is sending that screenshot to Shara, and then saying she's okay. So was this some place that she took her for? She did at one time say that she had been seen by forensic investigators.
Well, what's this? Okay, John's making her leave today.
Yeah, who's her?
Yeah. He said he doesn't. He said he don't effing care. She's got to go. Well, when she goes, he's going with her because he's just as dangerous. So she's
Just
the way,
as dangerous
again,
as
if I'm
who?
reading this wrong, somebody can correct me on this, but that looks like looking up a child protective investigation. There's a note with that. It looks like a, hey, either report this or thinking about reporting. I'm not sure, but that's there. And then you have the,
I need to know who her is. I don't understand the context. The chat is guessing Jamie.
yeah. Well, let's just see if we can clarify that. That would probably be
Yeah.
better, you know. But the statement that's in there as well, I mean, it's yet another statement about John. Just as he's an alcoholic, and I believe he would do something bad to my daughter.
Is there a date on this?
It's way up there. It's July. I think that says July 12th, 2023.
So it wouldn't be Tyra. It would be maybe Jamie, who was there, who was being kicked out. We know Jamie was kicked out, but there was, and Jamie did. They said Jamie called CPS on them, so that could be it. That could be it, or it could have been Michelle. We'll have to get clarification. Could have been her daughter.
I mean, we're just going to ignore this one too. It's yet another accusation as well. And I don't mean we, you know what I mean? But I mean, as far as all of this stuff, again, we've had an email that has come in that is saying that stuff is legit, that is being shown, but shouldn't show it because it's supposed to be in good faith and confidence. But they are allegations about somebody, and they are horrific allegations. Yet again.
And she's not reporting them to authorities.
Nope.
Which also makes me wonder why she's saying it in the first place. You know, it seems manipulative versus someone who's very worried about something. Because if you were really worried about this, you would call someone. You would take the child and run. You would get the kid out of the situation, not still be there living with someone that you say is this danger. See, this is why I have a hard time believing anything she says, because it just doesn't add up.
You know what? I think you defer to safety concerns, and I do believe her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's the way I believe her enough that I believe. And again, when I say this, I'm not telling anybody to contact anything. I'm just giving my opinion on this. I believe that you default to a need for investigation in this because there are very serious claims. They have happened again and again. We have seen them verified now by the lawyer for that person. But again, somehow Shara was just supposed to sit on all of that and be quiet, never ever bring up any concern or anything else. She's just supposed to sit and if she does bring it up again, she noted that she was dismissed. You know, she was scolded like a child. She was yelled at, berated.
And by the way, that some people in the chat are asking, you know, why didn't she report this at the time? Here's the thing. When the melatonin thing came up, and I don't know if it's the same with this particular one, but when the melatonin thing came up, that was reported, I think, by someone else. Maybe it was Jamie who called, I'm not sure. But Lynette was telling, it was reported to CPS. It wasn't Shara who reported it, but it was another person. And then Lynette told Shara that CPS cleared her, that they found no evidence. And she was talked into believing that everything was fine. So it's very possible that when these things came up, you know, she's asking, what happened? And if Lynette says, yes, we got reported and she's fine, we've been cleared. That's what she was telling her. Remember, she's been telling everybody. They've been here 28 times. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't know if they've actually been there 28 times. I've only seen paperwork on one visit, that I think she posted. We have not seen the paperwork on the others because all that's sealed and you can't get your hands on any of that. So we don't know how many times they've actually been out there. But yeah, I know at least one time Shara said she was told that CPS came out, they did their investigation, and they were cleared.
I just noticed something strange. Actually, I missed because of when I was looking at this. Okay, so you know the communications that we're talking about, Yale Pew Pew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I need to correct something. This is very interesting. I was going back in and screenshotting this because, yeah, I think this is video worthy. But notice this here. So when you look at it, look at who's speaking. Actually look at it. We have the message, and it just dismissed it like it was a message. But look beside July 26, 2024. What's that at the top? You see the M? Redacted name?
Where?
Right here.
What am I not seeing? Oh, yes, I see that.
So
is that a video of him?
No, what I'm saying is, look, okay, we figured BBB. What's the M here? Is this another person talking? Is this a communal freaking thing? I mean, is this?
It only looks like there's two people in the chat. Look at the circles up above. It looks like
Yeah,
Shara
that's what I'm
and
saying.
Bruce.
Why the M though? Like, what is that? I mean,
could it be just say Matskin?
I don't know. I would like clarification on that too, just to make sure that I'm saying, because when I look at the icon doesn't look the same. Let me take a screenshot of this. I'm going to blow it up, okay? Because I need to look at this a little
I
more.
think she put a black dot over those icons?
Yeah, but look, let me show you something here in the corner. So again, I don't know. I'm just asking questions, okay? So give me a second. I'm saving this so I can blow it up, because I need to blow it up quite a bit to...
The chat thinks it's someone who used to be in chat but isn't.
Yeah, and was removed.
Then
yeah,
it could have been
because,
M for Marla, maybe.
Could have been M for another M that would have been involved. Again, that's all speculation. I'm not saying who it is. I don't know, but this would be something to.
This is just part of the giant puzzle we keep trying to put together.
Yeah. Okay. So look, check this out. When you look at the images, okay, you've got white outline. And then you have her. Okay, so this isn't, obviously, it's not Shara, because you can see white outline. You see how it's redacted there, but look at the outline of the picture. It's a different picture.
It is a different picture. You are right. Wow, good eyes. Holy cow.
Well, I was taking screenshots because if this, again, interestingly, if, again, speculation, but... lengthy name, if this is a Michelle, and again we'll have to get clarification on that, but what does that change the substance of this to? Because it's is that Wes? He couldn't even identify the gun. Hale's told him the wrong color. So this that would change.
And I want to know, what is that update number 2? Is that a video, and is it Bruce speaking?
No, this is Wes.
That's speaking. Wes? That's that's the short they had.
Yeah, that's the short video they're pulling up.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't notice that before, actually. I assumed, because when I looked at it, like you were talking about, when I looked at it and I saw 2 icons. But when I looked at that, I was like, wait a minute, there's a name redacted. Wait a minute, that's a different image there too.
Roy Lonsinger has a good tip. He said, Tug, call Laura Owens if you need anything blown up bigger. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist that one. We've been sadly short on jokes tonight because this is so serious.
Yeah, but that changes. I don't know. Shara would need to clarify some stuff on that, because look, it looks like there's actually more people communicating in all of that. It actually doesn't look like, it looks like a 3-person communication with all of it. Because if we go with that, then let me go back again to another one. check this out here. You'll notice, again, the icon is different and the MI.
Michelle.
So you can see, like, here's Bruce, but here's other commenter. Because he's noted as Bruce in this.
Yep. It's MI. Does she have a different account? Because that other one is not, it does not say Michelle.
I'm just curious. I'm curious about the, the person commenting, because again, I thought that was, that's why you got to have the good eye and go over them over and over again. That's why it's important to collect I make screenshots. I look at this stuff because I do want to be right about this, and when you put it together, it's easy to look at this at first glance and to be like, oh, well, that's just these people saying this. No, I'd like clarification, because that also, that makes things even, if it is indeed a person that hid evidence and something, they're sitting here talking about threatening Wes.
Wait a minute. What about Milton?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I need to.
That's MI.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
there's a possibility of another one there too.
It could be a few. I just I want some clarification, because anyway, I'm gonna hit some super chats here.
All right, I gotta jump.
Yeah.
Just a reminder: tomorrow we will be going over the extensive eviction record of the ecosystem, and that will be happening on a Rumble exclusive after the YouTube portion of the show tomorrow night. And during the YouTube portion of the show, we only have, I don't know what we're going to do during the YouTube portion yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll definitely, when we go over to Rumble, though, we'll be going over those evictions, just so for transparency. It's important when you're talking about fundraising. I think it's important to know who you're giving your money to and who you're entrusting it to. It's a matter of public concern. So that's what I'm going to do.
I think that will be a fascinating live stream. We will definitely be, it'll be a big one. It'll be a fun one. And it will be one that we definitely want everyone to tune into. So make sure that you're there. Make sure that you get on your safety hats, as someone else would say. And yeah, let's get to it. And it'll be an interesting one. But you go, well, I kept you for 3 hours. I didn't mean to go that long.
I know, but this was pretty interesting. All right, guys.
Well, I think there's more to it. I'm going to go back through everything and see if I read everything correctly. But anyway, you go, do your thing.
I'll
Appreciate
see you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you. 1 second. Here, folks. I want clarification on that now. So, and again, when you're looking at everything, that's one of the reasons, like, you got to go through and you got to look at this more than one time. That's why you got to take all the pieces. I mean, it's easy when you're looking at it and you see conversations, but a 3-person conversation, like, that makes it even more fascinating, because you can tell, like, these are definitely Bruce here. That's definitely him. This other, again, comment right here, that's this part here that we just mentioned. Then you have, of course, that is the BBB icon. So he's saying he did leave the comment. But you have the other person here. They're like, hey, what comment, what video? Again, you follow it. It doesn't change the context, but depending on who the person is, that might get a little more interesting. We'll see. We'll see with clarification. Man, Shara's videos, like I said, they are jam-packed with all types of stuff in them. But let's go through super chats here. Appreciate you, folks. Sticky Widget kicked that off today, by the way. Thanks for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Sticky. Appreciate you, my friend. Deborah, thank you for your membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for that membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate you sincerely there. Thank you. Taz, thank you for the gifted membership as well. Man, like I said, you saw somebody commenting before, hey, what's this icon? So you can see it land on people too, and that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome with all of that. Fallen Hero, what's up, Fallen Hero? It means your birthday today. Everybody give Fallen Hero some love today. Appreciate you, Fallen Hero. Man, your birthday. You are much loved. We definitely all appreciate you. You're here all the time. I mean, I'll sing you a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. My kids changed it up. They're like, you smell like a shoe. That's what my kids do. They're like, wait a minute, no. My last birthday, that's what the little ones were doing to me. You smell like a shoe. But no, again, the Chi-Chi's way. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. And Tugs want to say, hey, hey. But yes, appreciate you, Fallen Hero. Love to you, buddy. Wendy, what's up? Thanks for the fun. Good evening, Tug, Megan, mods and chats. Let's flock and go. Indeed. And thank you for being here. It's been a good one, fascinating one. Oh, thank you for that month there. Not a statement, but it's a statement. Thank you. There's not a statement there, but it's definitely a statement. Thank you. Robert, thanks for the 10. Tug and Megan, do you know during JH's live video was brought to light about LP selling child Christmas toys that were on the wish list from the dark side? Actually, I don't know about that. I would want to see something on that to make sure before I make any statement on that. If that were indeed true, that would be very horrible. Lady Horse, thanks for the 5. Bruised man skin isn't the brightest crayon in the box. No, writing Shara was not a smart idea. Green Veggies, thanks for the 10. Lock your borders. The Californians are coming. What's this? I heard that a trouser hamster was adopted. Anybody I know? I guess. Who indeed out there has adopted a trouser hamster? That's funny. I love it. Rider Chick, thanks for the 2. Eat your heart out, walruses. Breadstick money. Thank you. Thank you, Rider Chick, for that. Indeed. Well, hearts or anything else, right? Patrick, thanks for the 5 there. Do you think there will be a ruling on adding defendants by the end of February? If they're added, what will occur first? This case is resolved, or we get the results of the 2020? They've got to be added relatively soon, you would think. I mean, again, Judge, they have a lot of cases there too. They also have to look at everything with this evidentiary and decide exactly what should happen here. So, Judge may take their time making sure they review everything. That is a big ask, I believe there are people that definitely should be added to the ecosystem lawsuit. I mean, the ecosystem should be added to the lawsuit, I should say. But, you have to have a judge agree with it. And again, they have a lot of, they may have cases. They may have to sit down, look, again, with that decision on how they're making it, write out something on it. So we'll see. I mean, it does have a big impact on the case too, because you're not just talking about adding some rando out there. You're talking about adding the lawyer that's attached to it. So, I mean, there may need to be research. I mean, it's a big ask, and we'll see. And what happens if they're added? Well, then we will see some fascinating evidentiary stuff, I am sure. You'll have arguments go back and forth. You're going to have arguments about, oh man, you're going to have some lawyer issues. There will be a lot of different things that'll happen. But it's a huge speculation at that point. We don't know. Again, I think there's evidence. I don't know every player and all of that stuff, so I don't comment on everyone. But I do know that there are particular ones that we have seen a lot from, and I could see them being added. SF, thanks for the 5 there. Didn't Element OP and friends know they were messaging the reporter they asked her the case and would be reporting on what was said to her? Well, they thought they didn't think they had a reporter. They thought they had their reporter, and that was their mistake. They assumed that Shara would not have any type of issues looking at this stuff. I mean, again, Shara, what exactly would be her motivation to do that? Why would they think that? I mean, monetarily, she's not making a dime off of it. So they're not buying her into the case. In fact, she's giving money. Now, when you look at that, why is she doing all of that? Well, because, again, I think that her statement about concern is a legit concern. I mean, if you're putting in your own money and you're putting in a lot of time, and again, you're doing it all on your dime, that does say, I believed that. But if there's evidence that comes out and you think it goes contrary, yeah, why would they think that? Why would they actually go with it? It's not like you're hiring an expert and saying, hey, said expert, we're putting you involved in something on our dime. That's a big mistake there. But just compound it with a lot of other ones, right? Toadette. What's up, Toadette? 29 months. Thank you. Man, that's a long time there. Love you, Toady Megan. Well, love returned. Thank you. Joyce, thanks for the 2. Bruce's high horse, isn't it? Jack's Bomb, thanks for the 2. Well, this is the first time to think about ethics. I know, talking about ethics, isn't that interesting? Right? Sapphire Scott, thanks for BBB can climb on a horse if it laid down on the ground. BBB is most likely standing on a soap on a rope box. Careful, slippery. Yeah, you got to be careful about digging yourself into a case. And again, I mean, if what do you think happens if harm actually were to occur to one of the people that were involved? What do you think would happen? I think some people would have some very, very troubling stuff that would come up because there is indeed, in my opinion, a conspiracy to ruin a man. And there was a word used earlier called incitement. Edie McPeterson. Love that name, by the way. Thanks to them. My name's Scottish. Say, like Braveheart, freedom. I'm gonna throw a sword in my living room. Oh no. SF, thanks for the 2. So he's threatening a federal witness with lawsuit. He's totally saying, by the way, I'm not threatening, or I am not. Isn't that fascinating? Joyce, thanks for the 5. Bruce is sticking dynamite up his butt and lighting a match. It does seem like a bad game to play, doesn't it? Toadette, thanks for the 11 there. Toward Lug and Bugs Candy Fun. Miss you all. I miss you too. I'm glad to see you around there, and thank you for that too. It's good to see you back. Appreciate you. The OG. What's up, OG? Thanks for the 10 there. Shara has been collecting all this info for over 18 months, well before Bruce Foreskin and his fatties. Yep, so she has more info than anyone. Oh, breadstick money. Yes, indeed. You're talking about somebody that has had access in a way that we wouldn't have. Typically, you don't see something like that. Typically, you don't see a lot of the things that are happening in this case. You don't have somebody come out that, again, just on a pure law and lawyer perspective. Again, if I were MP and I were JC, I would be very pissed off about what he did there. I would be very pissed off because their whole thing that they've tried to do is they've tried to say, oh, all of that stuff is fake. Now, again, I'm glad that there's clarification, but as far as your lawyer is supposed to be acting in your best interests, both in and out of the courtroom. Do you think that would be in the best interest there? I think we could see some cracks in the whole ecosystem over things like that. Stick it widget. Thanks for the 10 there. I was catching up on your stream from this weekend with Shizzy Wiznut. I couldn't help but notice a lot of widget references. I must say, it was somewhat triggering. I decided beer is the remedy. Oh no, poor Poor widget. I know. I remember that actually. Oh no. Jason, thanks for the breaking. Biden announces that people impacted by California fires will receive a one-time payment of $770. I don't know if that's anything on that or not. Actually, you know, one thing I would want to say on the fires, like for real, the human side of that, it's awful. It is a tragedy what has happened. I have seen people try to make this into something that forgets the human element, and no one should. And I'm not talking about you, by the way. I'm talking about, you know, I've seen press and everything else. You either kind of trying to cover backsides, or, you know, you have people again turning into something. There is massive devastation. If you've been infected by this, by the way, or your loved ones have, my heart goes out to you. It is a horrible situation. It is. I mean, we saw the devastation in Tennessee when we had our disaster. And actually, with that, it's horrible. So someone that is that's a good friend with the family went out to help with all of that stuff, and they were driving, you know, the roads that people were creating with all of that devastation, not the fire, but for with Tennessee and adjoining areas. They went out, they were helping clear areas, and they ended up getting in an accident and ended up getting killed with it. So it's compounded. You know, you have people that are out there trying to help where the Fed doesn't help. And it's good to see people help, but at the same time, it compounds tragedy sometimes. It's just awful situations. So again, my heart goes out to anybody that's been affected by that. Oh, whoops. My dog thinks of the two. Deuce guy reminds me of a Rayman character. Indeed. Beverly, thanks for the month there. Lynette's disability obviously isn't physical. Mental illness. Oh, well, I think it's a physical claim. She's very fast, though, isn't she? Pickled Tick, thanks for the 5 there. Megan, that's the officer, yeah, that was part of the Trespass 5. Yes, indeed. That was indeed them. That's why I was like, hey, you recognize that cop? Christina, thanks for the 5. Tug, the old Ring cameras, some are really bad. The charge my parents has only 4 every 4 weeks, too, so no clue for her. Yeah, you know, people were talking about cheap cameras, too. So actually, people have sent me screenshots of their types of cameras. Again, I know cameras are different, but usually when you get a camera that's from a certain brand, you also have a specific type of service. Now, the way the services work, again, what you typically have, like Ring, for example, they take lots of screenshots, and then if there's something that happens, it'll actually fire up the camera, and you'll have video, and that video will be preserved. You actually can go back and you can look up incidents, you know, so if there's a service that's involved, you're not just talking about a SD card slapped into a camera. Well, that gets even more interesting, doesn't it? Because I don't want to find out more about that camera type, though. Anna, thanks for the 5 there. One of those cops. Yeah. Yes. That, again, same one. It is indeed. That is one of the police that was there with the Lloyd thing. In fact, that is the one that was included in litigation. Yep. Judy, this and that. Thanks for the 2. Don't buy your security cams from Temu. No, do not. Do not. If you do, though, go out. We're talking about drop shippers. You know, people will buy keychains and all kinds of other stuff. Like sometimes I'll get curious and see where something came from. You know, like if I go to a store, there was a store selling these little Lego figures. They were off-brand Lego type. They're not Lego, but you know what I mean, the block figures. And they were selling them for horror, different figures. And I got curious about those. This place was selling them for like $10 to $15. So I looked them up on AliExpress and I found them for $2. So it's fascinating, like how much stuff actually costs. If you think it's bad that you're buying a $15 item, well, it might just be a $2 item. That's what I'm saying on it. So it might be even worse. Navy Vet, love it, bro. Thanks for the 10 there. Well, she's disabled. I'm 19 again, and I'm 70. I'm disabled and I have to use around walker, mobility scooter. Is another scam on this one? It's on the government. Well, I don't know her particular claims there, but yes, I'm not very good at running. Like I said, I have a disability. I'm lucky in the fact that I do pretty well unless I step wrong. Then I know it. I feel it. And yeah, running is not one of my things that I do with that ever. So hello, thanks for the vibe. Depending on camera settings, depends on how often you need to charge. Wise cameras also have solar panel for charging. Indeed. Yeah, like I said, I have an old ring. It's an older type. It's the front door, and I do have to take it down periodically to charge. Now I have many other cameras in the home too. Some of them plug in. Some of them actually are wired in. I have them all over my home. You know, I have a good, at least a dozen. I'd have to go and count them now, but I've tried to cover any area. What I do is catch a lot of squirrel mean mugging sometimes. But no, I mean, yeah, they all have different. The one thing that I've not had is a camera that needs charging every 24 hours. I've even had like really cheap trail cams, like really crappy ones, because I was afraid something would happen to them. We used to set them up, you know, they would be remote. So they would pick up whatever. You'd have to go in, you'd have to check the SD card later on. But we would set them up to see if anybody had been poaching, you know, like my grandfather's land. And again, we'd set a few of them out and they would be really cheap. But even those, I mean, when you would get them and like the ones that didn't have battery but actually charge, they would actually last a while. Even that. Dan, thanks for the 2. Next fundraiser, camera fund. Indeed. And Barbara, I did see the video app thing. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that a bit more. I did see that screenshot, and thank you, by the way. It looks just like a ring. So I was sent a screenshot showcasing how that stuff actually looks and records, and it looks just like I was describing with that, with as far as ring is concerned. And again, you know, that's something more to look into as well. Also, there was a Cash App from CW, I would say, because I don't know if your name, again, I always make sure not to put name there. I'll use your initials. There was a $10 one. Thank you. I appreciate that as well. Hale, what's up, Hale? Thanks for the 20 months there. Hey there, Tug. Megan, chat too. Could be easier with a Polaroid camera. Maybe not considering why not. Probably doesn't know how to operate one. Man, I haven't played with that Polaroid in a long time, by the way. That's funny. I was showing my kids some old, one of my friends dropped off some stuff that was like old equipment, you know, reel-to-reels, things like that, you know, older, outmoded electronics. I was showing them to my kids, and it was really funny, like seeing them. Have you ever seen like a kid try to figure out like what a record player actually does, like how it works? That's funny. I was showing it to my oldest, and I don't know, that was just really fun. They found some records that had been in pretty bad condition, so they couldn't hurt them anymore. But oh, that was something else. Deborah, thanks for the 5. This is about Tubetown. Know what the hell? So over there is Tubetown with Travis. Are you talking about the whole pew pew incident? Is that what you're talking about? With the whole pew pew incident, I mean, that had nothing to do, just saying, again, maybe I'm catching something else on that, but with that whole incident, that didn't involve Jeremy Hales at all. He wasn't one of 3 people in a car. You know, again, like you're saying there, you know, they went to this thing, they went to check it out, they were having fun. It's a horrible incident. Pickle Tink, thanks for the 10. Why will they not ask for proof of anything they complain of? State of crime? Are they afraid of them? This shit started a long time ago. It's definitely part of the corruption. Well, when the police went out there with their initial investigation, they locked in a statement. The thing is, like I was saying, what makes me wonder about everything was, again, they were at first they were saying there was nothing that they could pursue with, they were delaying, and then something came to light. So not sure about that. Again, there's been a lot of speculation on that. Maybe speculation is right, but it's interesting, isn't it? Linda, thanks for the 10. All that stand your ground reminds me of Here's Your Sign. Yeah, stand your ground. I think that would make a good, again, it'd be funny to see an advertisement for it. OB, thanks for the 2. Shara should set the videos in a playlist for loop. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Putting them together so people could just play the playlist. You can do that yourself if you have a YouTube. I don't want to say channel, but you have an account. That was the word. You can make playlists for yourself. So if you go through, just look at it, with save, that little save option, it'll allow you to make your own playlist. So you can put together videos. You can help out multiple channels at the same time. Like if you're going to leave, put together some Shara videos, some What the Hales, Megan Fox, whomever you want to, and again, if they're playing through and they have ads on them, bam, helps them out. Edie McYeterson, thanks for the 2. Show me on the doll where the pew pew hurt you. Yes, it seems ridiculous, doesn't it? It does indeed. Kathy, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate that. Jack, thanks for the 2. Dan Owens needs disbarred. There's a lot of things that need to be happening. Let's just say. Ninja Puppy, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you. Appreciate you. Ninja Puppy. I like that name, by the way. Thank you there. You and Kathy, thank you both. Tennessee Susie. Tennessee, every time I see it. That's the 10 I see. Thank you for the gifted membership there. Don't need to bounce into bad jokes, I guess, or dumb ones. Thank you, though. Mary, thanks for the 2. Why hasn't HG been interviewed even by CPS? 1 second. Now, we actually do not know if there has not been an interview, or if there has or has not. I mean, we did hear them ask questions, but as far as an interview like you would typically understand that, we actually don't know. As one of the things about CPS records, you're not supposed to, it fascinated me, like if you look in, so CPS callers, if you look up, here's something, I'm going to bring this up, is CPS, okay, so as far as CPS, is CPS anonymous? Yes, reports to CPS. It can be. Identities are confidential. They are protected from civil and criminal charges if they act in good faith. So one of the questions, one of the things that I kept wondering about complaints, about records that are involved in that, why are their names being listed? If people themselves didn't know that, if that actually came from the agency itself, they are supposed to protect sources. In fact, they are an absolute pain in the behind. Even when you're talking about it, it doesn't matter what's coming through. So if they, some of the names we've seen discussed, if that's coming from the agency side of things, that could be a potential problem too. Jackie, thanks for the 5. Woohoo! Thanks for the membership. I'm glad you got one there. I had no clue. I blame Jeremy, but somehow I don't think he's responsible this time. No, we have to blame him for everything. So he's responsible, even if right. Yeah. Becky, thanks for 5. Are you guys going to cover Karen Reed's retrial? Maybe. Not sure yet. Possibly. We'll see. There's like there's 5 cases that come up. I think it'll be interesting to look at and see what's going on as far as coverage throughout it. now I have time in the day to actually look at cases. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. BK, thanks for the 10. BBB and everyone involved in the whole What the Hell's ecosystem would have already been in jail. Very high bond here in Lusa County. They don't play around here. We have great law enforcement / DAs. Well, a lot of places. I mean, I think you would definitely have some problems, or at least people warned not to do certain things, for sure. But it seems like Levy County has some issues, some real issues. And you don't have to take my word on it. You can take other, again, there's been a few exposés talking about problems that come out of there. Theresa, thanks for the 2 there. Snort, chortle. Love it. What's that? Webs Enchantress, thanks for the 2 there. Appreciate that. There's not a statement, but it is a statement. Thank you. Nani, thanks for the 10 there. Pronounce Noni. Is that so? Noni, Lynn? Yes, I have knees. Okay, so it's Noni. Okay, so I would have said Nani, Noni. Thank you. But they just don't seem to work as well as they used to. Hey, you preaching to the choir for that one for sure. So Noni with the knees. Thank you. I should remember that. I can't guarantee I'll still remember that and not mispronounce your name. I tell people again, it's never an insult if I mispronounce, or if you tell me and I still forget. That is just a thing there. It is all love, you know. But thank you there. That's funny. No knee with knee. Becky, thanks for the law enforcement. South Levy County needs to investigate. There's all types of things that you would think would happen. And again, I'm not encouraging anyone to contact anyone. In fact, I'm not doing that at all. You should not contact anyone whatsoever. This stuff, if it lays out in litigation, man, that could be a serious problem for some folks out there, I would think. But we'll see. Candace, thanks for the 5. Megan, yes. Also, FBI, intimidation of federal witness. No way adoption agency, Renter Prince. No way. Plus, FBI should investigate Levy County. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Sometimes you get jurisdictional issues that go back and forth, and they get kind of crazy. We've seen Texas, like I said. The whole freaking state was held in contempt by federal court. So there can be some crazy stuff that happens every now and then. Jack Miles, thanks too. Tom, can we call her Psycho Alphabet Soup? That's funny. Kelly B, thanks for the 10. I lived and got married in this state. We also separated in this state, and he came back and remarried in the state without divorcing me. It's a messed up state. Yes, I can believe that. I can definitely believe that. There's a lot of craziness that goes on, and even when I can believe it, it happens a lot of places too. Just to be honest, Suzanne, thanks for 5. And they found out HG was never sick. Then I'll go fund me and other risks with HG are illegitimate. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like again, I don't know about the condition of a kid. I'm not questioning that right there. You know, that again, who knows? Who knows how far things go? But I'm not. What I worry about in all of this is, again, the red flags stated by the person themselves about another person on that property. That alone should be enough. And yet, Patrick thinks of the vibe. Philby claims she can attend a court date because of HG's condition. Can the court order her to show documented proof of the condition HG has? A court can do pretty much anything with that. Here's the thing with documented conditions too. If you went in and you said that someone had a condition, you could probably continue that forward and still say someone had that. I mean, there could be all kinds of issues, but she wouldn't be able to do that anyway. And I'm not alleging that there's something like that again. You got to be careful with statements of fact like that. I think there's enough red flags that you don't even have to entertain that as of yet. But as far as not being able to travel to, the court is not going to allow that to happen. If you're talking about deposition, video deposition, I mean, they might allow some video deposition, but when you get into trial and stuff, that's another particular can of worms. The courts are not very loving. Or, like if you have kids, courts still expect you to show up. So, Janice, thanks for the 10 there. The Florida State Attorney is the one who told Levy County Sheriff's Department to not enforce the Ohio Order of Protection. Sad thing is, DeSantis will not intervene in that. They don't, man. It's just like, okay, with the Laura Owens thing, all right? Like I hear this brought up as a political thing. All right, well, that county that is supposed to be hardcore against, criminal issues, what have they done to protect? Like that is disturbing. And you see that all over, right? It's pretty much, I think if the people actually look into what happens with a lot of these organizations, you would have, if you don't think there's an issue, I would say you would have a disturbing wake-up call. I think most people understand that there are issues, though. Hey, by the way, let me link over. I meant to finish up a little quicker today. Let me pull up. Is Shizzy still alive? There's still some super chats, but I want to see. Is Shizzy actually live tonight? I'm not getting any. Yes, he is. You know what? I'm not getting any notification without Shizzy. Is he still reading? I see a song going on. Are they still going, or are they? Somebody let me know on that if you would. But Dart, thanks for the 5. Lynette needs John's money. That's why he's still here. I mean, there's money there anyway, And April, by the way, anything that I talk about or something that comes up, if there's a discussion, nothing's aimed at you all specifically. If we're talking about why Shara did or didn't do something or any of that, again, it's all opinion. She has her own statements on that, but you are allowed to have your own opinions about people, not trust anything regarding that. And if you have questions or anything, and I don't know what that's on particular with, but yeah, if anything comes up, don't ever take anything as a how dare you or anything like that. Even if I vehemently disagree with a statement there, you are appreciated. We will disagree on things too. So that's for anybody out there. I don't mean for you, April. I mean for anybody, but I appreciate feedback. Sometimes when people give feedback, they ask a specific question. That'll force you to look at things a specific way too. And you have to come up with an answer for it. So, I mean, it's actually, it's good to question and to say the thing with Shara, there have been questions about Shara, why, where, all of that stuff too. Well, here's the thing with Shara. She has gone to a federal court and testified. She's a federal witness. So any concern people have about what she says or anything else, she's also, her concerns, I think she had legitimate concerns. I think she saw things. They get to a point where once you see something and you feel like you can't ignore it anymore, like you notice it. You really notice it. You might see scraps of something along the way. I've never looked at something and gathering information for 18 months without talking about something either. I don't know how. I would think that sometimes would allow you to miss something until you go back in and you put it all together. But she did have concerns back when. She noted them. And remember, as she said, she walked away from this stuff. She walked away quiet about it. The thing was that they started calling her a liar and more. They started... They targeted her reputation, and you just can't be quiet about that. But I mean, it takes a little while too. You also notice the statements that have been made. Some of these threats, they would give you serious pause and reservation. Because she said that she's worried about her safety. And I think she has a legit concern. I very much do. I just from the motivation of crazy people alone. We've seen some, but the people that are involved, I mean, some of the statements, they're concerning. So, but yeah, April, again, appreciate you. Lisa, thanks for the tip. King Solomon knew how to identify a loving mother. Indeed, I know what you're saying there. Anthony, thanks for the super chat. That doesn't allow a statement, but it is a statement. So thank you. Appreciate you. K-Matt Redway, how you doing, by the way? Appreciate you. Your name always just sticks in my brain. So thank you for your gifted membership on that too. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Tara, thank you for the 5 there. Did you get the link I sent? Facebook Messenger for the Mike Tyson. Yeah, actually, I saw that. Now, here's one thing I'll note there. I did notice that when people message me on Facebook, I have not really been using Facebook Messenger. So if people are messaging me there, that place is chaos. Okay. So I'm not a big message that often. I did see those though, because somebody gifted me one and I saw the cost of them. They're like $20. And I was like, yeah, it was okay, but I definitely would not want to pay that myself. I think I said I had a friend give me one and it's like, oh, I would try it out for that. But I hope definitely if I were going to pay that, I would buy a much different one. But yeah, I did catch that. And I've caught some other ones. If people message, sometimes people are like, oh, are you ignoring me? No, I don't. I also don't message very much with people. It's not just a time thing. It is a trust thing. And that has nothing to do with you. That has to do with other people that have just been crazy after the fact. I appreciate, like, when people send stuff, they send information. I do check things. Now, again, Facebook Messenger has not been one that I've gone through heavily to check out. Like I said, it is almost like chaos. But if people comment or something like that, I do check those out. But yeah, I did catch that, and thank you. There's a lot of add-on to say that too. Patricia thinks it was 20 there. Trespass 5 court scheduled for February the 5th. Getting close. More content. I know this thing is going to go on. I mean, there's a lot. We again, we have the trial coming up in August, but that's not going to end things. I'm telling you. Well, that may end this particular branch of it, but unfortunately, I don't think that will stop. Some of the people we have seen that have been involved in this, I don't think they'll stop with that. I know. I hope, but I don't think. I'm just being honest. But yeah, the Trespass 5. We're gonna see about that. That's a fascinating one too. Like, that is an absolute joke of a lawsuit. Rachel, thanks for the 26 months. Loving your coverage. Megan, welcome to Distraction. Having a liver scan in the morning. Loved all. Well, sending you love for sure. I hope everything goes well with that. That's one of the reasons that we want to have good laughs too. There's some things that come up in this we can't laugh about. Like, there are horrible items that come up, but by and large we try to have fun, cut up, because even in serious moments, I mean, again, you have to either laugh at the crazy or the crazy will start making you laugh. They're coming to take me away. But appreciate you, Rachel, and again, love to you. I hope everything goes well. Jane, thanks for 5. Elfie's mother had Munchausen. What about herself? I don't know. You have to be very careful too on remote diagnosis with somebody. I mean, I could make statements about what I think about something, but I'm careful about that. Janice, thanks for the 20 there for Log and Bucks Candy Fund. Thank you. Appreciate that as well. And Suzanne, thanks for the 4 months. April had a good question, wondering if Shara had, okay, so this was had reported one of the screenshots regarding kicking someone off property and JC having to go too. I don't know, actually. So that's the question. I thought it would be about something else. So again, April, I was not directing any of that to her. I'm just noting concerns. But your question on that, I don't know. I actually don't know. I think that's something that Shara, I mean, again, get clarification on. I mean, she's noted. Here's one of the things that's really, I guess, daunting for people. There have been a lot of reports. There's been a lot of them. And where have they gone? They've gone nowhere. So, and again, I'm not encouraging people to comment or to write or anything like that. I'm just saying, I don't know. I have to find out about that. Let me put in Shizzy's dramatic reading, by the way, for a redirect. Let me make sure I haven't missed anybody here too. But yeah, April, I'm not sure about that. And again, all questions are legit questions. Don't worry about. I do see people sometimes when you answer something, and especially if you answer it and it seems like disagreement. Even if you totally hated somebody involved in something, and we're like, and again, I'm not saying you do that, but if you did, you're entitled to have opinions about things. Yeah, with Shara though, like I say, I think she's coming to grips with what was there. I think when she's going back, she's seeing things that maybe perhaps didn't register on her before either. There's just so much communication. You imagine 18 months of documentation, communication. Look at all the stuff that we've done in a daily format. Now, we're not plugged in to a bunch of people just blather all the time either. We don't have the behind the scenes groups that she was added into. We don't have the personal messages that these people are sending. I imagine that a lot of that, she may just be running across for a first time in many ways. So as far as that, I don't know, but it is indeed concerning. There's a lot of stuff out there. It's just a sad situation. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything, though. Like I said, I think I got everything here. Well, here's 2 more. There we are. They didn't show up before. Janice, thanks for the 10 there. Do you know if BB has filed for Proc VJ for the Trespass 5 case? I haven't seen paperwork. Stark is the attorney of record on that case. As far as I'm aware, no one else has been added to that case as far as it, but I get the feeling that Stark did not write any of those filings. I'm going to say that there's a certain narrative style that we've become accustomed to, and well, it seems like that narrative style was out there. But as far as being added to a case, no. In fact, I don't think he wanted that. He said that it would look, that one of the reasons that he wanted to go out and get more lawyers was because it would look bad if he filed while you were still in federal court. So instead, they end up picking up Stark. Then they drop the thumbnail. You think about how dumb this is, by the way. They drop the thumbnail thing, and then Bruce starts talking about that case as if he's the attorney in record when he put out that open letter. Did you hear it referencing Stark, by the way? Like, they're just curious about the thumbnail litigation. Did you hear other lawyers being brought up? Or does it sound like when all of these cases are discussed, does it sound like we have one lawyer? I think that's where the concern or the, not concern, but the questions come from. Because when they're brought up, I mean, again, if you were just listening in the outside and you listen to that, do you get the opinion that there's other lawyers involved, or do you get this opinion that it's one person doing that? Because that is confusing. But yeah, I can see that. Terry, thanks for the 2 there. No worries. Have a great night. Hey, you too. I hope you have a great one as well. And Suzanne, thanks for the 5. Shara has so much info to process, but I feel she's reported all she can, and it's hard for us to absorb it all. But I know we try. Yeah, she's got, oh gosh, there's no telling how much more there is, too. And she's putting it out there. She's making sure that she covers this story. She's going through 1.5 years of items. And she has pieces. You know, I saw some of the hater comments where they're trying to say, oh, as far as the information that she put out today, you know, just talking about the Pew Pew incident, that all of that information is old hat. And it's not. She has pieces of it that you didn't know about. I didn't know about. We did not know, for example, that about the comments there about people getting involved in a group and actually saying, oh man, we're leaving comments threatening to sue. Oh, isn't that witness intimidation? I don't give a yeah. So much deflection. All right. But anyway, we're going to go over to Shizzy. Yeah. Give him love, give him support, tell him sorry I ran over. I was going to redirect faster, but that video was an absolute, it was something. Shara puts together a good video. So let's go give Shizzy some love. Go rate him. Tell him Tuck sent you. Yeah, we'll see you, babe.